Bill Clinton's endured hours of questions today from members of a congressional committee trying to get to the truth.
Jeffrey Epstein was in the White House 17 times while Bill Clinton was president. We know that Bill Clinton flew on Jeffrey Epstein's plane at least 27 times. So those are questions that we're going to ask.
Ahead of the video of his deposition being released, the 42nd president put out a defiant opening statement, saying, "I know what I saw, and more importantly, what I didn't see. I know what I did, and more importantly, what I didn't do. I saw nothing, and I did nothing wrong." The Epstein files have yielded dozens of photos of the former president on Epstein's jet and enjoying holidays and foreign trips with him and Ghislaine Maxwell. Yesterday, the former First Lady and Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was questioned, afterwards denying any knowledge of Epstein's crimes.
I don't know how many times I had to say I did not know Jeffrey Epstein. I never went to his island. I never went to his homes.
Erika Kirk has been named the new CEO of Turning Point USA.
My husband's dead. I'm not trying to be morbid, but he's dead.
It's weird to say excited.
Describes her husband's funeral as the event of the century. Merch, hats.
We have 50,000 plus hat orders.
Nobody knows why she's out there in a glittering pantsuit in a recreated tent that her husband tragically was murdered in, throwing merch out.
Everyone reads differently, so if someone's acting weird, don't read into that. My aunt used to tell me never do something that you don't want on the front page of a newspaper.
That was weird.
There we go. I think we might be echoing somewhere, though. That's what I'm worried about.
Like at the end, was that?
I don't know. But we're live, and we're live to so many platforms right now. It's not even funny.
Because there's some you don't normally do.
Right. So we're live on BitChute right now. Oh, I forgot to start Gitter. Hang on. Let's go Gitter. Oh. Okay. So I'm going to start Gitter in a second because I forgot to go grab. There's so much. I'm sorry we're late. I know that I told y'all we were going to be here on time, but listen here. We have the
Beast.
The Beast.
We're going to call it the Beast.
The Beast. Do we want to call it the Beast though?
Yeah.
It's got to be something more godly, do you think?
I don't know. It's the Beast.
The
Stallion.
I don't know. Let me try Gitter again here. The White Horse? I don't know. All right, so we're live on so many platforms right now. I think I added 3 here for tonight. I added Vocal, which we don't normally do. I added BitChute, which we don't normally do. I added Brighteon, which we don't normally do because the system, the Beast, the Stallion.
You gotta call it the Beast.
The Italian Stallion.
You gotta call it the Beast. It's just the Beast. It's a good beast. See, because you know what we are not? We are not superstitious.
That's so true.
Okay.
We are not superstitious.
We see the number 6, we don't freak out.
I do avoid it. I'm gonna be honest. So my product numbers all start at 001, right? If you had one of our products at 001, it was the first batch that we ever sold, right?
So
as they go up,
006.
It goes from 005 to 007. Yeah, I ain't doing that. We ain't messing around. When I get to 16, it's gonna skip from 15 to 17. So no, I'm not superstitious. I just don't like the number. Okay. I just don't. All right, so you know what you need to do? You know why and you probably can't because you're just little, is that light's not normally on. Can you reach up and unscrew it a little bit and touched by an angel? I needed to see some stuff. There you go, just a couple. There it is. Oh, much better. Now, so, hey, everybody. I got good. Was that loud in your ear? Do you mean turn it down?
I have spots in my eyes.
Oh, because you were looking up at the light. All right. So the reason why we're a little giddy, a little excited, a little nervous, a little all kind of stuff is because y'all know we've talked about Lil Abigail and Lil Leah and Neil Peterson and the whole 9 yards. Well, they're all connected. So Abigail and Leah are connected, and Abigail's dad is the brother of Pastor Neil Peterson. And this family is so awesome. He reaches out to us out of the blue. Literally, haven't heard from this dude in almost a year. And he's like, hey, did you ever get your computer system worked out? And I'm like, no. And he's like, I think I can help you get some more RAM. Then he sends a 4-page, I did say sense. Then he sends a 4-page dissertation on why our current system is not great, even though he's so nice about it. He was so gracious about it. But he literally said in the nicest terms possible, very British, like, your computer is junk. It is unredeemable. We can do nothing with it. It's to retire to Fiji. Okay. So, and then he says, if you will let me, my wife and I and our family would like to build you a computer. Well, he's going to build it, but you know what I'm saying? So he did. So they came over the day before yesterday, Wednesday night. That's why we didn't have a Revelation Red Pill, and installed the beast. And I don't know that, like, so, you know, Pintos, like the car, right? So imagine a Pinto and then imagine an 18-wheeler. You know what I'm saying? So what can a Pinto pull? Okay. A Pinto can maybe pull like a little wheelbarrow or something like that. We were trying to pull a very large cattle trailer behind our Pinto. And that's our computer, right? And the Pinto kept telling us, I'm not designed to pull a cattle trailer with 18 head of cattle in it. Okay. And you keep trying to get me to pull. And so I kept taking cows out. You know what I'm saying? So I take different streams out. We do different things to try to ease up the load on the little Pinto. Well, he's now brought us an 18-wheeler tractor trailer, and I can pull whatever I want. I can pull a whole house. I can pull a galaxy. Okay? It's amazing what this thing will do. Now I'm going to warm up our lighting. But the reason why we're late, and I thought I had so much time today, I was like, oh, it's so great. We're going to, they're going to be shocked at how fast we get there, and it's just going to be the coolest thing ever. And I realized that all of my time of preparation of trying to get tonight's show ready, thinking I had it all, I wasn't logged into a lot of things. And then it doesn't want you to log into a lot of things. And I had a lot of issues, and then I didn't have it doesn't matter. We're here. All right, y'all don't need the details. You don't want the details. What you do want is you want to know what tonight's show is going to be about. I'm going to tell you something. So save your Drammy for your mammy. You ain't never seen Drammy like you're going to see it tonight. Candace Owens, the bride of Charlie, like the name. I feel like the name is a bit, Leah watched the first episode last night. And at first when she was listening to it, because I didn't watch it, and I was like, is there anything like good, like anything that we don't know? And she's like, no, it's pretty much everything we already know. Nothing exciting. And then she comes to me and she's like, well, actually, let me tell you some stuff. So there's more to that. So we're going to talk about that, because what has happened, and the bigger news story, because y'all can go and watch the documentary. It's not really a documentary. It's called a investigative series, I think.
Is that what she's calling it?
She's calling it an investigative series, which I like that. You know why? Because then it's not an accusation.
It's truly,
sure, they're literally investigating.
Like great grandparents.
Okay, but the bigger story to me, besides whatever Erika's past is or is not, and we don't really know.
You know what I think about? I'm like, if you do a genealogy research for me, I'll pay you. Like, that would be really cool.
Oh,
right?
yeah. So, but the bigger story is what it has done to the entire right. Like the dividing line. And are you guys seeing it in your feed? We're seeing it in our feed. Like, I'm seeing it everywhere. Pretty much you are either pro Candace doing this quote unquote investigative series, or you think that she's
a demon.
She's a demon. And and we covered that the other day.
A demon.
That's the talking point that they have issued. Like, you will say this. You will say that Candace Owens is a demon. And Milo Yiannopoulos came out and said, listen, all y'all people took money to say that. And if you don't start fessing up, I'm going to start naming names. Did he actually get anybody to fess up that they got paid to do the demon thing? And is he really going to name names? Because I doubt it. I'm like, okay, Milo, don't dangle that carrot in front of us. So here's the deal. When it comes to Candace and when it comes to Erika, Candace is definitely doing this for clicks. Like, because that's why she does what she does. Candace probably does not think that that's why she does it. She thinks that she's doing it because she thinks that she's doing the right thing. I am here to tell you that's not That's not the truth. She's doing it she really and truly is doing it for clicks. But that doesn't mean that there's not truth to what she's saying or that it's completely false. Either way, it doesn't matter. We're going to get into it. We will talk about it. But the other thing here tonight, I did not have sex with that woman. Bill Clinton, like as if did you miss him? Have you guys missed him? I am old enough to know Bill Clinton, obviously not personally. I never met the man. But I grew up. So if we have any 20 somethings here, y'all people Bill's going to mean nothing to you. If you're over 37, you get it. So Bill Clinton is brought before Congress in this deposition, and and Hillary is too. Okay. Here's what I found hilarious about this. Bill Clinton is named in the Epstein files. I don't know how many times, a ton, ridiculously. He's been on the plane a bajillion times. Yeah. He's been to the island. He was at the White House 17 times.
Epstein.
Excuse me. Epstein was at the White House 17 times when Bill Clinton was president. Yeah. Okay, now keep that in mind.
Don't let it leave your brain.
Don't let it slip. So, Leah, Epstein is at the White House 17 times when Bill Clinton is president. Okay, hold that thought.
They're not close at all.
Listen here.
Not close at all.
He's been to the island. There's a ton of pictures of Bill Clinton and Epstein. Mm-hmm. Hillary says she knows Ghislaine. They're an acquaintance. Hey, let me tell my story. It's my show. I'm coming out. However, amazingly enough, this is amazing to me. This is a phenomenal to me. Okay. If Leah had been somewhere, and we're not married, obviously, we're sisters, but we're close, super tight. If Leah has been somewhere a kabajillion times, and Leah is in pictures with a certain person a kabajillion times. Yes, I'm making up that number. If that person that she's in the picture with has been to our house in an 8-year period 17 times, and yet I'm I never met that person. Never had. I don't know that person. I know their significant other, and I've met their significant other, and I count their significant other as a mild acquaintance, but I have never met that person. I don't know anything about that person. You know what I'm saying? Hillary has come out and she said, I ain't never met the dude, never had anything to do with him, never been on the island, never flew on the plane. I literally never met him. Epstein came to the White House. Where was Hillary? All 17 times. Was she just hiding in some room in the White House? And why? So it begs the question. This is what I would say to you, Hillary. Why did you not meet your husband's bestie? Mm-hmm. They BFFs. They BFFs. Mm-hmm. And yet you ain't never met your husband's BFF. You know what I mean? Seriously? She needs help getting onto the tile. So the dogs have a thing with tile. They have a hard time getting, you got to help her walk onto the tile. She needs a rug. Oh, okay, thanks. All right. So anyway, we're going to get into that. Of course, both Bill and Hillary, essentially, they know nothing. They see nothing. They mean nothing.
I don't know the ramifications of lying to Congress under a deposition, but I don't think it's good. Okay, so records and recent committee evidence indicate that Clinton flew on Epstein's private plane between 16 and 27 times for humanitarian trips.
Sure.
The files show that Epstein visited the White House 17 times in 4 years.
Oh, so it wasn't his whole presidency.
93 to 95, so 2 years.
You're kidding. So it wasn't during his whole presidency. It didn't span the 8 years.
No, but for 17 times in 2 years.
What did I say? BFFFFFFFFs.
It's once every couple months.
Hang on. Do you know the last time that we saw our best friend, Catherine?
It's been a while.
It's been over a year, I think. Almost a year.
Yeah.
But so what does that say? And she lives an hour away.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about Candace. We're going to talk about Clinton. And we're going to talk about... there's a representative from Congress, Tony Gonzalez, who was sexting his assistant. Mm-mm. And Boebert,
Lauren Boebert,
and a few others like Massey have called for him to resign. But then some others, like Troy Niels, who is wearing a Trump tie in this video I'm going to show you.
Oh, I need to pull up your tabs.
He says that we can't afford to lose one.
Oh,
right now,
so,
even if he's
a sexter.
Yeah, even if he's an inappropriator. I don't know what else you want to call him.
An inappropriator.
An inappropriator.
Okay. I could see that. I do want to do something. I'm going to do something real quick. Because when Nicholas came to install the system, right?
Yeah.
He kept saying, I need you to do something on here that will prove to us how good the system is.
Okay.
And I couldn't do a whole lot because I couldn't log into a lot of the things that I needed to log into, right?
I want to see this, yeah.
So one of the biggest issues
is pulling up these tabs.
As soon as I pull up the tabs, everything bogs down. Now, I can't say that. So Chrome is a little wonky by itself.
It is.
But the computer system should. And so I want you guys, I'm going to pull up the tabs. You're not going to see the tabs. You're going to see this video screen and see if we get,
I need you guys to be
honest. Is that what you were going to say? These are not the tabs.
That's not the droid you seek.
Oh boy. Okay.
These are not the droids you seek. Wait.
It's probably going to pull them up in multiple tabs. I'll close out Windows. This is what you want, right? This one right here.
Yeah.
I can only do all of them. So now we're actually going to pull up 2 windows worth. So we're really going to put this thing under load.
Do I have 2 windows up?
You probably do.
Oh, I got a lot going on here.
Yeah, but it's over now.
Would it be helpful if I closed one?
Well, the one you don't need, but now I don't know if I refresh if it's still there. So guys, remember, tonight's show is a real show, but we're trying out something for real. Mm-hmm. There we go. Thank you, Leah. That's very helpful. Oh, wait. Nope. Now we got to go down here. Here we are. So here we go. You ready?
So yeah, we're going to not be glitching here in a second.
We're not glitching. And look, this stream, none of that. Look at that. None of that froze. Going. Are you watching this? Does
it say anything?
Normally that freezes.
Bits per second.
Look,
or dropped,
normally we've lost 0 frames per second.
How many do we normally lose? Many?
I don't know. I don't watch how many we lose. We just lose them. And it constantly tells me. And then this right here,
yeah,
it freezes like this. And then all of a sudden it races to catch up and goes, and then it goes like that. And then it'll freeze. And then it races to catch like that to catch back up. Okay. We have had 0 dropped frames. And I'm doing what our little Pinto before would literally be going like, Michelle, you're beating me to torture and I just can't do it. You're asking too much. Okay, so this system's like, this is nothing for me. We ain't never going to have an issue ever again. It's going to be so great. And you know what I was thinking? You know what I thought today? Why are you smiling?
I'm smiling for you.
Yeah, I know. It's so happy. It's the happiest day.
I'm smiling for you.
It's the happiest day of our lives. So our friend Christine Cantrell, who y'all know that we cannot say enough about the Cantrells, that we love them. The girl sent us this super fancy Korean skincare thing. And then she sends us a private personal Marco Polo explaining it all. And Leah was like, Christine, you need to be on QVC. I am sold. Take my money. Right.
Yeah.
So here's what I was thinking. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get that girl on live. I'm going to get it on live. We can come out and draw the stuff and let her do her thing and her little boost, spray thing. And listen, what's going to happen is we're going to be Benjamin Buttoning on the show live before your eyes with this magic Korean. We're not going to say magic, Holy Ghost Korean. Do the Koreans have the Holy Ghost? I don't know. These ones must skincare that at some point in the next couple of months, you're going to be like, Leah and Michelle, what happened? Who are these teenage girls that have replaced you? That's what's going to happen. Because we're going to come out here and you'll be like, she not even recognize us because it's Korean boost. That's what she did with this spray thing. She just did it. I'm so excited. And you know what? Christine was doing that Marco Polo and I was like, she looked like she 27 years old.
She did.
I was like, oh. And she didn't have no work done. This is just the Korean boost thing. Wait till you see her do it. So I was thinking we should get her on live to boost everybody's. You know what I'm saying? So she's selling this stuff now. Mm-hmm. But she didn't send it to us so that we would sell it to you guys. She sent it to us because clearly she was feeling
bad for you.
Yeah. And you know what? It's both offensive, but then when they're your best friends, it's not. It's not.
I'm not offended. Bring on the very expensive skincare that I could never afford.
Mm-hmm. That's it. All right. So that's news. But what's awesome is, thank you. Shauna says, this is great. No glitchy. Thank you, Shauna. You're never going to see a glitch again unless Lee and I all of a sudden go freeze. Did we glitch or did we just freeze? See what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the kids came and then they went home. It was like 2 a.m. when they got home, and they're like, and Nick was like, they brought up your old.
It was a recent video.
They brought up your last video.
I think it was the State of the Union one where we dropped
all
Trumpy.
kinds of streams, and you're always saying goodbye to Getter, goodbye to this.
They're never gonna say goodbye to nobody.
World.
Yeah.
You're here for me and I'm here for you.
Leah,
I could do 20 streams. Don't know what that means. For all the world to hear resistance checks.
Wow.
A whole new.
No, you lost it. You almost had it. Like you literally almost had it, but then you did not
remove the children. Then send me a sexy pic, says Representative Gonzalez.
What?
She says, I swear my life has been a telenovela for the past 7 days. You don't really want a hot picture of me. Representative in Congress to his assistant, Tony Gonzalez. Yes, I do.
Leah.
Hooray.
No. Okay, first of all.
She says, is this a test? She says, no. I just don't like I just don't like taking pictures of myself.
Leah.
And he says, I'm such a visual person.
Leah.
Okay.
So now this is somebody's personal exchange
between a married man and a married assistant. Did I mention they were married? Do you know what married is? It usually means to have and to hold one person, not ask for pictures from other people. So we've got Mr. Tony trying to explain, tell everyone here, Michelle, when you bring up the tabs,
I can switch over whenever you want.
February 24th, he said that he refuses to resign. Bobar says resign. Thomas Massey says resign. I say resign. You say resign. And Trump is not putting his weight behind his primary, which is great. So you're going to be over to the left all the way to number 5.
Johnny 5 alive.
There we go.
Okay, give me 1 second to switch screens. But you know what? It probably shouldn't even take, this is another thing
find that
used to be very difficult for us to do. And I'm going to work on the...
Here.
No.
You're not. Are those text messages correct? Are they accurate?
I am not going to resign. I work every day. I work every day for the people of Texas.
But are those text messages? Are they accurate? Are those real text messages?
I am not going to resign. I'm not going to resign. I work every day for the people of Texas.
Did you carry it?
And there will be an opportunity for all the details and facts to come out. What you've seen is not all the facts.
Did you have an extramarital affair with the staff?
What you've seen is not all the facts, and there'll be an ample time for all of that to come out.
What are the facts? Can you address it right now? Your constituents want to know.
My constituents are not here in D.C. My constituents are back home in Texas.
What do you make of some of your colleagues?
What do you plan to tell the...
He practiced this in front of the mirror. He's like, oh yeah. I'm supposed to say the facts are going to come out. That's what you say in this situation. That what you've seen is not all the facts. He didn't deny, because that would be lying, right? So you can't deny because everybody knows they're real. And so he goes, this is how they spin. Mm-hmm. So the next spin is, I am not, beholden to you. I'm beholden to my constituents in Texas.
Right.
Okay, well, you're beholden to a lot of people. Let's play over here. Number 3. This is going to be the husband of the ex-staffer. Said that he has a
The man has no values. He runs his whole campaign on family values, and he runs everything, saying that he's some family man. He's actually quite of a sick man. I have all the messages that shared between them two, and, the things that, I just released a tip of the iceberg of the things that this man was telling her. I released just what was, enough information for the people to understand who this person and who they were dealing with. If I were to release everything, again, my biggest thing is protecting my son. I will not release, the salacious messages that went back and forth much deeper than what, and much more graphic rather than what I presented to the American people. The man has no value.
Tony Gonzalez fool you. He joined every Democrat in Congress and voted for the January 6th commission to investigate, prosecute, and imprison President Trump. And he went on CNN to attack real pro-Trump Republicans, smearing them as racists.
These people used to walk around with white hoods at night. Now they're walking around with white hoods in the daytime.
Don't give Tony the chance to stab Trump in the back again. Vote for the Republican who's always had President Trump's back. Brandon Herrera.
Brandon Herrera.
As a regional district director for Gonzalez in his Uvalde office. She died in September 14th, 2025, after setting herself on fire.
Leah!
In her backyard.
Is this why?
Yeah, it's got to be the demons around it, obviously. In February of 2026, text messages provided by Santos Avila's widower, Adrian Aviles, to Texas Tribune in San Antonio. I wanted her upstairs because she's just going to sit there and cry. So she needs to kind of go upstairs with the door shut.
She's just sitting there and crying. You want me to take her upstairs and shut the door?
Yeah, she needs to just go lay down. We've got 2 dogs here. And
we can't fix this glitch of life.
This is the glitch, of life. Yeah. This is a very, very sad and tragic story. And the now widower of this poor staffer is bringing messages out. And I feel that this is really, really, really bad. Text messages appear to show Representative Tony Gonzalez pursuing a relationship with his former staffer, Regina Santos, more than a year before she died by suicide.
Oh my gosh.
The messages were provided by ABC News, blah, blah, blah. In a series of text messages, we talked about them. He also appears to ask Santos about her sexual preferences, and Santos replies to the request by saying, "This is going too far, boss." So some people are saying that he was just having a...
Stop.
What?
So they're telling me that when I'm screen sharing, they can't hear us. I can fix that while Leah's talking. I have acknowledged it. Thank you for your text messages. Keep going.
Okay. That's good to know. Thanks, guys. So when she says this is going too far, boss, she drew a line.
Yeah.
She's saying, I'm not maybe she got drawn into a little bit of a flirtatiousness.
Yeah.
But she didn't want this relationship to go. She is just trying. And I'm going to tell you something. Being a female in a male kind of world.
That's what I was going to say.
Is very, very difficult. You have to put on the full armor of God.
Mm-hmm.
Because men, they don't pursue you as some sort of equal. These kind of men who will flirt with anybody or anything, they don't care about you. But because women are predisposed to to actually, and I'm just going to tell you biologically, women are predisposed to think that when a man pursues them that he's genuine. That you want to, the way God has designed the sexes is women want to please men in general, especially if they're your boss, especially if you already respect them. So you're going to try to, or she's going to try to, this is her boss, by the way, right?
Yeah.
She's going to try to just let it slide. Raise your hand. I have slipped out of the amount of sexual innuendo in conversations with across the gambit of situations in my life, from pastors, to Christians, men, fathers. The amount that I have slipped through and just kind of when you say
slip through, maybe use another phrase.
You turn the subject around. You get out of the situation because you're usually in a public place or you're around other people. What are you going to do? Most of it is like innuendo. So what are you going to do? Stop in the middle of it and say, oh my gosh, that was, if it's truly inappropriate, then you will. But men know where that line is, to where public outcry would say, wow, you're just acting like a Karen. You're just acting up. Okay. Again, we aren't afraid to say the amount of times that we had to slip out with Doug Frank with sexual innuendo that was like disguised as praise.
Yeah.
Like, you're so beautiful. You're so this. I'm saving. Michelle would say, while you're out there trying to find me a husband. No. I'm saving you for myself. Well, you're a married man and you're old and it's gross. And like, why would you even say that? Like all these little tiny things and these little tiny things that add up and, it's looks, hugs that just go too far. And then when you're in a situation like she is, where this is your boss.
Yeah.
And he's crossed the line and he's seeing how many lines he can cross. And this poor girl, what happens is it's stripping it down to the point where she committed suicide.
So, and I think that last line that you just gave there is what I was going to hit on here because, unfortunately, first of all, anytime there's a man in a position of authority, the woman has to be given a pass.
Well, listen, I want to read
Let me finish. I'm going to lose my thought if I don't. Yours didn't go anywhere. It's a written article. I'm thinking of like Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky.
He's perfect.
Position
He
of
is
authority,
Tony Gonzalez.
right?
Bill Clinton is Tony Gonzalez.
He's in a position of authority. Now, I'm not going to say that Monica Lewinsky was like this girl, but I will say this.
Yeah.
What Leah just said was she lit herself on fire.
Yeah.
If you're just some kind of Jezebel out there wanting to be involved with these guys and just wanting to like kind of husband hop and get, you know what I'm saying? You ain't going to commit suicide and you're not going to light yourself on fire.
This is her mindset. Okay. Now, as a female, I could do a whole show on this. I could do a whole show on the psychology of this. She says, this is going too far, boss. How long have you thought I was this hot? He doesn't think you're that hot. He's pursuing you to make you think that he thinks you're that hot because women are predisposed to be attracted to men who are attracted to them.
Yeah.
It's just a thing. Okay. And sick men understand that you pursue and you pursue and you pursue and you pursue until the walls fall down. As long as you have to be in a working relationship with that person, you can say these things. And I'll tell you, there's a reason why women get Botox. There's a reason why they wear tight clothes. There's a reason why, because women, hello, we're not going to play any games here. They enjoy being found attractive. Okay. It takes that's why the Bible is full of scriptures on be modest. Don't go out there and try to be sexy. Don't go out there and try to attract people because your sinful nature, there's a reason why there are a gazillion OnlyFans girls, because there is a predisposed sinful nature in all women to want to be attractive to men. That's why when these women hit 40, 45, they start getting plastic surgery because the high that they got from turning heads, they're not getting it anymore. Sandra Bullock looks like the Joker now because she's nipped and pulled and everything because she desires it. I remember Jennifer Gardner in a movie talking about, oh, look at that, I still got it, because they want it, they desire it, they hunger it. It's a drug to a lot of women. It's a It's a part of the sinful nature that the Bible is really clear that you have to overcome. So when Jesus is saying, yeah, we're going to go preach on you, to put other people first. When Paul is saying, walk in modestly, it doesn't mean that you have to look like a hobo. Okay.
Hence the Korean skincare.
Okay. It doesn't mean exactly. It doesn't mean you have
I'm like,
to.
how are we going to reconcile the Korean skincare after this? It's not Botox.
No, it's the vanity of vanities. All is vanity.
Amen.
Are you vain? Are you vain enough to,
Come on.
You present yourself as best as you can because you are respectful of other people. Okay.
You know what we had a pastor say once? If the barn needs painting, you put a little paint on it.
The barn, right?
But he didn't say if the barn needs like reconstruction.
Yeah.
Tear it down and build another one.
So anyways, the final text dates from June of 2024 in which Santos Aviles' husband, Adrian Aviles, texts Gonzalez and several other staffers from Regina's phone telling them he is filing for divorce due to the discovery of her messages with Gonzalez, texting the group thread. She's been having an affair on him with your boss, Tony Gonzalez. The recipients of those texts include several current staffers. The Gonzalez campaign has not responded to that. Gonzalez has denied allegations he engaged in an extramarital affair with the congressional aide who died by suicide last fall, calling on the Uvalde Police Department to release its report on her death despite objections from her family. Santos Aviles, 35, died September 14th, 2025. She doused herself with an accelerant and set herself ablaze inside of her home.
Oh, my
Adrian
gosh.
Aviles' lawyer told ABC News that his client did not share the text messages with congressional investigators who are prepared to send a report to the House Ethics Committee. ABC News has confirmed that Gonzalez has been under investigation by the Office of Congressional Conduct, who has already completed its probe. Due to its rules, the OCC may not transmit a report against a member of Congress 60 days prior to an election.
Wow.
So Gonzalez is in a primary contest on March 3rd. So the report is expected to be transmitted to the House Ethics Committee the following day.
Wow.
So that's why they're saying that we have to let this play out. But Boebert has called on her to resign. Nancy Mace has joined her, obviously.
Really?
All
Okay.
the women, Republican Brandon Gill, and
Lauren Boebert, whatever.
She had an affair and lost her husband too. So
you don't get to
and she had that moment in the thing.
theater.
Yeah,
you
So,
nasty woman.
Let's listen to Tony Neals here on Tony Gonzalez.
I don't like it. It's not a good look, right? Obviously, Tony's having some issues to deal with. He's going to have to settle those issues, obviously, with he and his family. But right now, indictments. You know what? I didn't expel George Santos, right? I wasn't going to do it. Indictments, easy to get. I think we got to let the situation develop, so to speak. But I'm not going to get... Listen, it's up to Tony Gonzalez. Should he resign? I don't want him to resign. We can't afford him to resign. Should he pull out of the race? Well, that's up to Tony. But the voters are halfway through this process already with early voting starting last week. Let's just see if he wins his primary. But it's just not a good look. It's certainly not a good look. You know, I don't
It's
like...
certainly not a good look. Are you kidding me? What do you mean? This is a moral issue. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? I'm sickened by it. We do know that there are a ton of these that happen in Congress all the stinking time. Thomas Massey weighed in on it as well. And Thomas Massey actually dropped some names we're going to talk about here in a minute from the Epstein files. So I'm really happy with what's going on over there in Thomas Massey's camp. Okay, so thoughts on that, guys. I'm going to segue here into two Roy's reports on Christian pastors because I think this is a nice little segment that we're having.
I want to
here.
read this from Kimberly before we move on from topics, because this is important. You remember when Nancy Mace was bragging about having relations with her boyfriend before the prayer breakfast?
Oh my gosh, yes.
That was like vomit in your mouth.
It was vomit in your mouth.
She was literally at a prayer breakfast, and she's you're given time to talk at a prayer breakfast. And you want to talk about relations with your boyfriend? Like these people are lower than low.
And that was the same relations with her boyfriend that she got really sick about, that she had to have a restraining order against. This is all just a very strange. They're all just super strange people. Let's just put it that way, right? They're super, super strange. I don't trust a lick of them. I don't trust Boebert. I don't trust any of them. They all just make me sick. They all just do. I just got to tell you, they all do. But we got to talk about them because they're running our country. A couple pastors here from a Vineyard pastor. Too much love to give. Report finds Vineyard pastor abused women in 2 states.
Oh my gosh.
You look so beautiful.
Stop
the pastor wrote his 26-year-old bookkeeper on a party napkin at a church wedding in 2004. At the time, Rachel thought he was just being a friend. She wanted to work at Christian Assembly, a charismatic congregation in Northern Virginia suburb of Vienna. The pastor, Dennis Roy, was 34 and was married with 3 young children, and Rachel trusted him. Then he'd start casually brushing up against her, blah, blah, blah.
No!
And in her off time, the pastor would call her so often that she changed his name to Dad in her phone so her roommates wouldn't wonder. He discouraged her from spending time with other friends. As the relationship began to take over her life, other members of Christian Assembly, which no longer exists, blamed her for the attention, labeled her a seductress. Then one day, she said, he invited her to an office and did some things. And she says she just froze. And that was just the beginning. The clergy sexual abuse continued for 8 months. And there was an investigation submitted to the Vineyard February 8th of this year. After leaving Christian Assembly, Roy moved to Brownsburg, Indiana, and started New Day Church, which became the Brownsburg Vineyard in 2019. Roy abused other women while he was a Vineyard pastor, the 66-page investigation found. He said inappropriate things, touched people inappropriately, and had relationships he described as affairs. The reported victims were either Roy's subordinates in the workplace environment or a member of his congregation. His behavior was largely unchecked with little consequences. Dennis Roy haunted an unknown number of women for 2 decades. While under the guise of a pastor. He was able to escape accountability. The investigation found that church leaders from Christian Assembly, New Day, and the Vineyard knew about inappropriate behavior, but did little about it to nothing about it, allowing him to move on. It's the charismatic version of the Catholic Church Pass the Trash, and no criminal or civil charges. Rachel prompted the investigation in 2024 when she contacted the Vineyard's tip line run by an investigative firm, Guidepost Solutions. She said Roy groomed her and exploited her while styling himself as a man of God. This was not a fall, but an intentional trap set to trick and exploit me by someone I trusted as a pastor and a man of God. He would also say he, like King David, had too much love to give.
What?
Rachel said she was sheltered with no prior sexual experience.
Oh, dear God.
When she tried to set boundaries with him, she recalled that he laughed at her. She claims Roy was manipulative, controlling, and coercive. I don't know how to explain it, but it was like something inside of me caved. Whatever he had done had broken something inside of me, almost like he could do whatever he wanted. Rachel said the two engaged in everything but Roy is now 56, would later describe it as an affair. Meanwhile, he preached on Sundays about resisting sin with the Holy Spirit's help. This is why it's not an affair. This girl is keeping herself from marriage. That is an MO with these guys.
And she said no.
Several times. I don't like this. I don't want to do this. But women get drawn into these things. That's why there should be protection around these kind of situations. We just need to be really open about things. Now, women can seduce men. That's a thing in the Bible. Read Proverbs, okay? But it goes both ways. So you need to understand if there is a perpetrator in a situation, if it's just 2 people falling into sin, that's a different story. But if there is a perpetrator and you see this guy by his
in a position of power and authority,
by his repeated sins, and usually it's a guy who with obvious sexual experience, he has 3 children with these other girls who don't have any, then you are duty bound to you're the guy you're pursuing. You want something. You pursued something.
Yeah.
Okay.
To steal something, actually.
Yeah. In December of 2004, Rachel's friends finally convinced her she was being abused. When Roy went on vacation to Canada with his family the next month, she packed up in the middle of the night and fled her job and home. According to the report, she told an unidentified pastor from a sister church what had been happening and she needed to leave. He brought the allegations to Roy's elders. An unnamed leader from Vanguard Ministries in Suffolk, Virginia-based organization that provides oversight for non-denominational pastors got involved, but Roy continued as pastor for an additional 6 months. He was fired
Praise God.
He was reportedly told to take only a year off before moving to Indianapolis and start a new church. That year off was considered to be Roy's restoration period. When it ended, the leader reportedly determined that Roy had sufficiently repented and recommissioned him. And then Rachel said she believes Vanguard was trying to cover the whole thing up. She blames this guy named Bobby Hill, an apostolic leader at Vanguard, for setting up there's no such thing as restoring these pastors, guys. From what I understand, and Mike Weir did a video on this, when you are in a position of authority, when you're a wolf, that's not a restoration. You became a wolf. You weren't a sheep that went over the ledge. Okay. There is a difference, and we have to be able to call out the ones. And if you call them as sheep that fall over a ledge, or sheep that falls prey to a wolf versus a wolf, this is a wolf. So there's no restoring a wolf. This guy's not saved.
So here's who gets restored in this situation.
She does.
Exactly.
Because she did fall into sin.
Exactly.
And she fell into sin hard.
Right.
And it ruined her. And that's the sheep that we go and we do. And here's the thing. You know what you never see? The restoration for these poor little sheep.
I know.
And we have to go back and what we do is there is a restoration process for the sheep that have been, it's called healing.
Mold.
Okay. They've been bit by a wolf. They need to understand how it happened. They need to understand if anything that they played part in it. And just like with Pinocchio, where he went off with the boys to the horrible island, right? But it wasn't his fault. He wouldn't have gone off if they hadn't have, drug him there. If the bad guy hadn't have drawn the guys there, right?
I don't really remember the story that well, but yeah.
Well, bad guy drives the kids off and and then Geppetto gets him back, and he got to be a boy. In 2006, Roy started a Bible study in Brownsburg. In 2009, it had become a church called Oasis, later named New Day Church. Roy told his new elders that he'd had an affair, but was restored. Oh my gosh. And then sexual misconduct wasn't the only issue that came up. In 2015, Roy was arrested. This is so funny. No. He stole from Goodwill.
What? Who steals from Goodwill?
Listen, this is how you know, this guy is not okay. He stole from Goodwill, then made up a story.
Stop it.
That he was exchanging, for things he donated.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. You don't get to do that with Goodwill.
Hang on, wait. Meaning I'm bringing a sweatshirt so I can get a new sweatshirt?
Yeah.
You know what would be really nice?
It would be great if you could, but that's not how it works.
That would be a cool store. I would go to that store.
Yeah, so one family left over the Goodwill stealing thing. This go too far, man.
Oh my God.
Forget the affair. You stole from Goodwill. That's some bad stuff. You are arrested.
Soldier. Yeah.
Goodwill stealer.
Come on.
You know what?
What?
In that case, I would actually be more inclined to restore the Goodwill stealer.
Dude, you need to close that back.
It was an accident. Yeah. But how low are you?
But why?
It couldn't have been about money, right? It just had to be the thrill. The thrill of it, right? So in 2016, New Day merged with nearby Vineyard Life Church. Roy served as an associate pastor. A few years later, the churches decided to separate, and Roy's congregation became another church. And then later on, there were more. So Rachel remained silent until March of 2024. In November of 2023, Deborah Perkins, identified at the time as only J. Doe. So she came forward and spoke about Mike Bickle.
Yeah.
Deborah Perkins did.
Yeah.
And it inspired this woman
Wow.
to come forward and say, I now know that I was a victim of clergy sexual abuse. And then, of course, he has other victims. It looks like Dennis Roy committed clergy sexual abuse resulting in significant harm. Some statements. So I don't really know. This is a super long article. They're really thorough there at the Roy's report. I'm trying to see if one thing has happened. It says this investigation has taught us important lessons, said the Vineyard. As a movement, the Vineyard USA remains committed to demonstrating genuine repentance as we continue to provide confidential reporting for victims. One key suggestion from the report: if a pastor uses the term affair to describe misconduct, that should be a red flag. That means that he is minimizing his responsibility. We do not call clergy sexual abuse an affair. And if you are calling that, then you are not understanding what you did as a pastor to groom in and bring in this woman and to send, just like Gonzalez, to send the messages. Gonzalez staffer wasn't asking for this. She's like, boss, you're going too far. Okay, we have it in a text message. Well, he's not the only one that's been out this week. A Georgia church that hosted Trump is accused of not reporting a child molester. So a Georgia prosecutor slammed 2 charismatic pastors associated with Trump for failing to report an employee who sexually molested a 15-year-old boy 2 years ago. Parents should be able to trust the church leaders will protect children, said the Cherokee County Assistant District Attorney, Lena Pope, on a press release last Friday. Silence and inaction only deepen the harm. Protecting children must always come first. So there was a mom of a teenage boy who attend this Worship with Wonders church, and there's pastors Miles and Delana Rutherford. And in September 2023, there were accusations there. She told the pastors her 15-year-old son had exchanged more than 12,500 text messages, some obscene, with a leader of the church, Marcus Kendall. When the Rutherfords didn't react quickly enough, she called 911. Turner, now former director of operations at the church in Powder Springs, was arrested a month later. He pled guilty February 9th to aggravated child molestation, sexual exploitation of children, and enticing a child for indecent purposes. The 34-year-old was sentenced to 25 years in prison without the possibility of parole.
Wow.
But according to Cherokee County District Attorney's Office, other church leaders bear some blame. In a February 20 press release, District Attorney Susan K. Treadway's office said Worship with Wonders leadership was informed of the allegations but did not call law enforcement.
No.
Church leaders disputed this in an online statement the following day. They say police were contacted but did not specify which department or when. Clergy in Georgia are required to report, and you could failure to report is 1 year in prison. And then the Rutherfords founded Worship with Wonders, which meets in a renovated shopping center. And they were connected with the Trump administration and was, I'm sure they're highly in that Paula White
This
category.
is just from December 12th.
Yeah, this just happened. Yeah, this is really sad. And some of the residents accused the church of a bait and switch. The church was not, in fact, affirming LGBTQ identities. Instead, Worship with Wonders invited gay people to visit and hear that their lifestyles were sinful. But the homeless, yeah, that's great. I actually appreciate that. So I don't know why. I don't know if the Roy's report is like left leaning or whatever, but it seems sometimes that they are.
No, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah. So,
or at least I think they're anti-Trump.
I actually have another video from this week that goes along with this. So we're doing a little tiny bad pastors expose at this kind of moment here. So I'm going to bring up this Paula White clip because I saw this week. Come here, Paula. Where'd you go, girl? I need to see you. You're on my list of bad pastors this week.
She's always on the list of bad pastors, by the way.
She really, really is. If she's not one of mine that I opened up, then I'll just have you. Just go to my bookmarks. She's the first one. I think she's one of the first ones up there. So this is what?
Okay, no, I did log in. It's all these things that you don't think about. I wasn't ready for all the things I wasn't logged into. I had to log into your X account.
Yeah, so scroll down a few. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Paula's there somewhere.
I'll find
She's
her.
coming.
Yeah.
Paula.
She's so sickening.
Where is she?
Hey, Paula. Yeah, they probably deleted it.
No, this is like from last week. Where are you? Let me see something.
What do you mean last? Oh, all this. Do I need to? Am I in the wrong account?
No, that's right. But she shouldn't be that far down.
Well,
maybe she should be like she should be like 4 down, like under Trump here.
Okay, so I got Thomas Massey.
Yeah. Keep going.
Who's
keep
that
going.
kid?
Keep going. Keep going. No, before the farmer.
No, hang on. Yeah, this is so weird. Oh, wait, here, show more. I think I got to click this, right?
Okay.
Or no, is that just who to follow?
No. Yeah, I'll just retweet it. Here we go.
Okay. Sorry, buddy.
I don't know why your bookmarks are different than
I don't
mine.
know
That's weird.
what's going on.
Okay, so this was at a conference.
Recently?
A recent conference, a recent 2026 Unleashed conference.
Is this what I heard you playing earlier?
This reminds me of Kenneth Hagin.
Yeah.
I've told you guys, I went to Rhema Bible Training Center, Word of Faith. Yes, it was a name it, claim it. The what all you think about the bad pastors, okay? As far as money.
Yeah.
Like I was just telling a friend, Raymond didn't have the sexual improprieties that I know of. Okay.
They really didn't. Because there was a gigantic heavy emphasis on just getting married.
Yeah, but what I think is that they truly believed. A lot of the name it claim it people actually believed. that
Oh,
if you
sure.
gave
Yeah,
to
yeah,
them,
yeah.
then you would be blessed.
Right.
So, but Paula White came
She's a
on the
complete fraud.
heels of that.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe that Kenneth Hagin had a real teaching that he really believed in this teaching of giving money.
Mhm.
Okay. I believe it's a false teaching, but I think he honestly believed it in a way. Like, Kenneth Hagin did not live a lavish lifestyle.
Yeah.
He wanted big things. He wanted a big church. And I think he thinks that he got a revelation. So I'm going to give him that.
Yeah.
Let me just give him that because I went around the people. I knew the people and I didn't see, you can be in a delusion and have
Yeah.
a false belief that hurts people.
Sure.
But you're not like thinking to yourself, I'm conning these people out of money with the Holy Spirit
Right.
on purpose.
Yeah,
Okay. Paula White does.
Yeah, she knows
She
exactly what
knows
she's
she's
doing.
lying. She saw the grift, and then
She's good at it.
She's good at this grift. Yeah. But right today, she's not.
I can't get this much louder. Yeah.
Huh.
I want $100,000. There are 10 people that could give $10,000. There's 100 people that could give $1,000. Get a check, make it payable to Paula White Ministry.
That's as loud as I can get it, guys. Sorry.
Right now. If you say I don't have it, give $100. Bring up a sacrificial seed. This isn't for me. This is about kids that will die without you being obedient. This is about kids who are going to be minstrels and instruments and warriors and mighty for God. This is about kids who will make a difference. I'm not going to take everybody's blessing. Come on. I'm going to tell you, get a seed of sacrifice. Get in the arena. Get in the arena. I need you to stand. There's
Look at
only
those
3
heels.
envelopes. I'm not moving. I'm not going to lay hands on people till you're obedient. Get out of your seat.
I'm not going to lay hands on people until you're.
Wait. You can't talk over
Okay.
her because it's so quiet.
She says, I am not going to lay hands on you until you're obedient and get out of your seat and start bringing money up.
Seed. Come bring up a seed. Come bring up a seed. Eddie, don't worry. You're going to get it anyway. You're going to get it with or without the people's obedience, but I got to break some ground up in this place. I got to break it. Malachi, it was the least giving any Unleashed has ever had. The whole week was less than one night we've ever had. The lowest Unleashed offering was $59,000 on a night, I think, in a day. It's not even been 40 for the whole week. But that doesn't matter. God already raised
I got you a mouse right here. You have your own.
given it to me.
Isn't that nice?
So she's telling them the numbers.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do that, by the way.
No.
You're not supposed to let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. But she's saying for this conference, this Unleashed, she said, for the whole week, you guys have not given what one night would normally be. And you've only given $40,000 so far. She's like letting them know.
Doesn't matter. I'm not doing this because I need it. I'm doing it to break something off them.
So this is what's so funny is how do you know how much money people give that's going to break something off of them? How do you know?
I don't have words for this.
I'm doing this because I want to break something off because you keep holding on to your money.
I'm doing it to break a mentality. I'm doing it to break something. 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 You need a breakthrough. You need things. You need a building. Come on. You need a
So I don't
so
really want
low
to call
down,
people
dirty,
out.
rotten.
But this lady just came up. She put it there and she lifted her hand up. She's trusting God for something.
wedding dress. You need some things, but you're struggling all the time financially.
Can you just pause right there real quick?
You need a wedding dress.
So what she's the Bible says to give out of your abundance.
Yeah.
And no, this is super serious.
Yeah, no, it is.
Because when she is saying that you're always struggling financially, I need you to come and give. They are asking for people who are struggling financially to give to them.
It's
no minister or ministry.
Yeah.
This woman isn't just a fraud. That is the face of Satan.
Yeah, what Matt always says, if giving is so great, why don't you start giving to people? Why don't you just start handing money out, putting it under all the chairs like Oprah, you know?
Exactly.
kingdom of God. The kingdom of God is not every wish and every want, but it is provision for the vision. The kingdom of God is there is no lack in
This
Christ.
is disgusting.
He will supply all your needs according to his riches and glory. The kingdom of God. There are 30 people right now that can give $1,000.
She does this all the time. There's 30 people that can give $1,000.
She does 10,000 a second.
You giving one? for my unborn great-great-grandchildren. This is about what I've done for these kids. God is going to certainly do for mine. Then my lineage and legacy. I got too many prayers, too much in the arena, and too much seed in the ground. Come on, get up here. In the name of Jesus. Pastor Paula, if all I have is $10, then bring you $10.
Somebody, this woman here in the jacket, she stayed up there and prayed over her seed.
If all I have is $10, then bring me the last of anything that you have.
I know.
Bring me your everything. Bring me your very last dime. That is the swindler of swindlers.
Say, I'm not going to leave until I put a seed and a sacrifice on this altar. I'll keep on. I'll keep on. You guys have no idea. I'll keep plowing this because I'll break every demonic chain, every spirit of poverty. Come on, how many of you get afraid? Come on, how many of you get afraid of giving sometimes? I break it in the name of Jesus. You're looking at your bills. You're looking at your checkbook. You're looking at what's ahead of you. God, whatever we did wrong with financial decisions, we redeem it and we ask for your forgiveness. We repent of being irresponsible.
Yeah.
We repent for being materialistic. We repent.
That lady just faked it. She just came and set her cell phone there. Didn't put anything up there.
Well, maybe she didn't fake it. Maybe she Venmo'd it, but it was like, I'm walking up. I want to show God that I'm going to the altar.
I get it. Okay.
That we made bad decisions. Now, God, redeem us. We sincerely repent. Now, redeem us. Redeem our mortgages. Come on, redeem our budgets. Redeem our income. Redeem our flow of finances.
So this is why I left Tulsa, because they would spend, even like, I love Pastor Bill at Guts Church. They would spend 45 minutes and be like, oh my gosh, they do what she did. They get on this like kick where they felt the Holy Spirit telling them to tell everybody that they had to give money to the church. They had to give money. They had to give money. And let's just do a real quick rundown on giving. Matthew 25, I just shared this with Abigail. It said that when you have seen somebody naked and you clothe them, when you have fed somebody hungry, when you've given somebody something to drink when they were thirsty, he said, then I want you to know what you did to the least of these, the smallest of these, the people that you don't even know about, you don't even know who they are. When you give to a need out of something that you have, Jesus says, you have done it unto me.
Yeah.
Then he says, those who saw somebody hungry and had the ability to feed them, but didn't, you didn't do that to me. And he says, depart from me, I will never see you. So she's taking a biblical principle and applying it to herself. That's not the right biblical principle. The biblical principle is when you have extra and you walk by somebody and you're like, I'm not going to help them. Okay. But you can help them and you don't. It's like, you're not helping Jesus.
Imagine the widow's mite.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's what they justify this with is the widow's mite. But if you see a widow sitting there and you start taunting her and tormenting her and saying, you would be blessed if you gave me your last mite, you're just being stubborn. You're just holding on to that. You're in sin. If you wanted your healing, if you wanted prosperity, you would come and give your last mite. That's not what Jesus was talking about. So I want to address a question in this from RH Wagoneer. It's a very valid question. Maybe Leah, you can answer this. How do people fall for this?
Oh, wow. It's spiritual.
It's worth asking that question and talking about it.
Spiritual manipulation.
Yeah.
So you hear of signs and wonders and miracles. If you've been touched by God, by somebody, like on you're scrolling through the television and a pastor comes up, God can meet you where you're at. And you'll think that you're getting a message from God, from this person, when really God is just talking to you.
Yeah.
And people are hungry for God. And a lot of times it's easier to go to the bigger churches where you hear a move of God is happening. And for a lot of these people, they're looking for miracles. They're looking to chase down a move of God. They're looking for something. Like, it's not falling for it because there's biblical principles to what they're saying. Okay. And they're just manipulating the word of God. So I just have grace because we fell for it, because when all you have is turnip soup, then you're going to eat turnip soup. Okay. Oh, you're going to bring him on the, oh my gosh, Toby, he can't.
Put his legs on there. Grab his
I
arms.
got him. Come here, Tobers. You want to say hi to everybody?
Yeah.
Yes, that Toby.
Your foot
Hi,
Can I
Tobers.
see
Or do you want? Yes, you can. Mwah. You just got it back, didn't you?
He's
You're
all
a good
groomed
boy.
and happy.
Yes. Okay.
Come on.
Oh, there you go. There goes your water. There goes all the things. Okay.
That was fun for him.
He did like it. He likes being picked up. He's such a big dog, but he loves being picked up. So yeah, I just feel bad for the people who do, because like, when I was younger, the only thing on television was that we were allowed to watch. We were allowed to watch Christian television. We were allowed to watch TBN, right? And so that was better than everything else. And like, some people will say, yeah, but maybe you shouldn't watch any TV at all. Well, you're a kid and your parents are like, you're begging for TV, and well, just watch TBN, watch the Christian television. And there were good things on there too, but it's filled with wolves. And it's a situation that is very sad. Let's put it that way. But it's not the people's fault. They're being taken advantage of. All they want to see and hear from is God. And so that's why we call them out, so that you can see, oh, wow, this is not right. Right. All right. So I'm going to do a screen share here and do a little commercial break. So this is my commercial break. There's a man named Rob McGinnis who takes farm animal portraits in the style of a family photo.
Nuh-uh.
This is the Family Farm Project. And I just
love that.
Absolutely am loving that. Would you get all the craziest?
It looks like AI.
It does very much look
That's
like
cool, though.
AI.
That's his thing.
Yeah, it
That's
really
fun.
does.
That's a good commercial break after that.
Yeah.
What kind of rooster do you think that is, Leah? What is that? That's some cray-cray rooster.
Chicken?
No, that's a rooster. Look at the tail feathers. Excuse me. That's a tail. Leah, we're going to pretend Leah didn't say that.
Well, I didn't really look closely.
Well, you don't have your glasses on.
Okay. So, the Representative Gonzalez here?
Yeah.
I
did still have one up from him if you need me to find it, because I closed out some.
Well, here it is. He has taken $2 million from AIPAC.
Wait a minute.
Spent by Israeli lobby groups to get Tony in there.
No way. Why does Israel care about our representatives?
So they'll go to bat for you, man, if you're willing to go to bat for them.
Wow.
Thomas Massey tweeted this out. President and CEO of the World Economic Forum, Borge Brende, resigns due to the Epstein files. We'll probably cover that on Sunday. All right. This is Howard Lutnick. The DOJ, I don't know if you can see the guy that's kind of balding.
Okay, in the blue shirt.
Yes.
Okay.
So Howard Lutnick.
Is there another picture in this?
No.
Oh, what is this? So there it is. That's just the name that proves that he's there. Okay.
Yeah. Right now.
Oh, boy.
So Representative Nancy Mace says she'll call Trump Commerce Chief Lutnick to testify.
Oops. Oh, wow. Here we go.
Democrats say that they have the votes to subpoena Lutnick to the Epstein probe. This is why Trump did not want to and said there's nothing there. A lot of good people will be caught up in it. So we've covered a little bit about Lutnick. But his connection with Epstein is so crazy that they owned the same building, not at the same time. But I don't know if it was
Who
on
owned
Sunday.
It first?
I'm trying to remember.
I'll Google it.
But each of them bought it for like $1.
Oh, so
or
there's some
something
sort of
like
inside
that,
thing
right?
going on there.
It's really weird. And that picture that you just saw, the DOJ, Thomas Massey tweeted it out. The DOJ removed that photo from the Epstein files.
Wow.
So the DOJ is in this giant cover up. First of all, remember they blurred out Les Wexner's name as a co-conspirator. And once they realized that this was Lutnick and on the island, Lutnick probably did some things. Now remember, where he after Epstein had done all of his craziness in 2008, that we read the email that he was going to go to the island with his wife and kids.
So from what I'm finding is that it wasn't that they owned the same building, but Lutnick's firm, Cantor Fitzgerald, was a major tenant at 40 Wall Street, which is also known as the Trump Building.
No, that's not it. That's not the they owned the same they had the same building. I'll have to look it up.
Okay.
Lutnick and Epstein were in business together. Lutnick and Epstein each signed on behalf of a limited liability company that agreed on December 28th, 2012 to acquire stakes in a now shuttered advertising technology company called Adfin. Epstein and Lutnick's signature appear on neighboring pages in the contract, with Epstein signing for his Southern Trust Company. Lutnick, the former chairman of financial services firm Cantor Fitzgerald, who at one point lived next door to Epstein, told the New York Post in October that he and his wife Allison had cut ties with Epstein in 2005, deciding after taking a tour of Epstein's New York townhouse, I will never be in the room with that disgusting person. Remember that? However, it appears Epstein and Lutnick continued to maintain contact and emails, so they arranged phone calls and planned to have drinks in 2011. And the following year, the couple and their 4 children planned to visit to their island. So maybe they were neighbors. They owned adjacent.
So you mean
buildings.
the AI was right?
They were neighbors.
Right. They never owned the same building.
So that was another guy then we must have read about that owned the same building. It's hard to keep track of everybody.
Okay.
But Thomas
Is Lutnick
Massey,
the guy that lived next door to Epstein, says Kimberly Vinzel?
Yes, that's the one we were just that's the one we were just talking about. But right now he is Secretary of Commerce. Like he is in Trump's cabinet. Okay. Howard Lutnick, fraudster, Epstein Island visitor, and miraculous 9/11 survivor who made millions from that day, showed up at the State of the Union all smiles. See if there's anything else. Not only did Howard Lutnick evade death on 9/11 by taking his kids to school for the first time in 5 years, he made the point of noting that the average age of 700 employees who died was 33. That's very interesting.
Oh, wow.
So do you think he was, that's weird. How many people, I want to play that. We're going to go down conspiracy theory
You retweeting
road.
something for me?
I did.
Okay.
There's some other interesting people connected with like 9/11.
Okay.
Like, this is like weird.
This guy looks such a poser. You know what I mean? Like he's classic New York. It's so strange. Like they have this weird look. So what year is this from?
It's 2001 or something.
It says not only did Howard Lutnick evade
I just
death,
read it. I already played it. So
all right.
I already read it. So you just play it.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
The needs of these young families. Many of your traders were just in their 30s.
We've got the average employee we have is around 33 years old. So they're just married. We have probably a dozen women who are pregnant with babies who just lost their husbands. We've got lots and lots and lots and lots. We must have more than 1,000 children, 1,500 children who've now lost one of their parents, and they've lost the breadwinner that makes all the money. So we are dedicated to raising money for our foundation, which will go to take care of and try to help the victims of this horrible tragedy and try to make their lives a little easier, whether that pays for health insurance for a long time or gets them some extra money or makes their lives even this much easier. I mean, that's what we're doing, and that's what we're driving for, and it's called the Cantor Fitzgerald Foundation, and anyone who can make a donation to it is going to help a lot of people who really need it.
And just finally, it was just, accident of timing and luck on your part that you weren't in the building. And I know some of the other survivors here. How do you feel it must, tear you in so many different directions?
So wait.
His offices, Howard's company, Cantor Fitzgerald, was headquartered in the North Tower, One World Trade Center. He suffered the largest loss of life of any single organization in the attacks. Of his 960 New York-based employees, 658 were killed.
So
including his brother.
I just need to. I'm not trying. Listen, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist.
He survived because he dropped off his son for the first day of kindergarten and was delayed getting to work that morning.
I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. I don't like it. I don't want to wear a tinfoil hat. Okay,
He's Jewish.
Leah, I am here to tell you. Look at this man's face. I'm going to back this up just a little bit. I want you to look at his face. And if we had this muted, which I'm not going to mute it, if we had this muted, what would you think was going on in this man's mind in this section right here before she says, you must be eaten up inside? His whole demeanor changes when she says that. And then it's like, oh, yeah. Like he forgets that he should be sad. Watch
Finally,
this.
it was just,
Look at his face. Eyes are smiling.
Timing and luck on your part that you weren't in the building, and I know
eyes are smiling.
Survivors here. How did
eyes are smiling.
He smiled a couple times.
I don't know why I'm alive.
His eyes were smiling.
I didn't get to the building early enough
His eyes are
so
actually
that I
still kind
wasn't
of
in it.
smiling.
But then I stood outside at the door, helping people out and telling them to come on, get out, and asking what floor they were on, trying to find the higher and higher floors so that I could hopefully find someone coming down from 101, so that meant our guys and our women had survived. But I'm standing under the building when the number 2 collapses, and I'm just lucky to be alive, and I don't know why I am, but you know what, I'm just thankful, and it must be because I've got the responsibility to try to do my best for this group of 700 families, and I'm just one of them. I lost my brother, my sister's here. We're just part of the family, and that's my responsibility, and I'm going to do my best. And my fantastic employees at Cantor and Eastbeat and Tradespark, they're doing their best to support these guys, and that's what's driving them. And I think they're heroes. They're really all heroes.
Huh.
That does not look like a man that's just lost his brother.
It doesn't look like a man that just lost 700 employees either.
Like, so do you all remember? I think everybody
Do you
here,
know how many 700 employees? It's actually 658, but
that's almost 700. Yeah.
Because he has no feelings. He doesn't feel.
So yeah, exactly.
Like,
so at the very minimum, he is a
it's-
narcissist that does not have
a sociopath
empathy.
that doesn't have
Sociopath,
the ability
exactly.
to
Thank
feel.
you.
And so you have to what's called mirror.
Yeah.
So when she says you must be eaten up, he's like, he tries, but it
doesn't. Right. So you and I, all of us, men included, and I would like to hear from the men in the chat, and I will check it. Even though we're live on so many platforms, it's hard to keep track. But if you are seeing us on Brighteon and BitChute, and Getter and kind of the alternative and vocal, please, we'd love to hear from you. I will check those comments. We all remember September 11th. We all remember the aftermath and the weeks that followed September 11th. And I'm going to guess that those of us that did not know a single person that died or was affected in New York from this awful, whatever you won't even call it, we would find ourselves crying. Like, I would just randomly start crying, thinking about these people. And I get it. You can say, like Erika Kirk, well, everybody mourns in their own way. I'm telling you, that is a man that does not possess feelings. Like that was like, I don't even know what to call that. So anyway, Leah, let's get to the rest of the news.
Okay,
we could sit on this for a long time.
That was so crazy. I could stick on Howard not for a while. I can't even get it out. Lutnick. All right, let's go to Bill Clinton.
Oh,
okay,
boy.
Michelle, let's go over here.
Kimberly says he's creepy. He's a little too happy.
All right, so Bill Clinton was interviewed, and I was actually surprised by his
deposed.
Whatever. Did I say interviewed?
You said interviewed.
Okay. Whatever.
Interviewed is a different word because you can be interviewed by CNN.
It does say interview, but okay. Bill Clinton, his responses were, just so I do not have sex with that woman-esque. But this is from the Babylon Bee. Bill Clinton tells Epstein committee it depends on what the definition of child trafficking is. Because that's what he did with Monica Lewinsky. What's your definition? I did not have sex with that woman. Of course, this man will find a way around a mountain 500 ways. So Bill Clinton testified to members of Congress today that his answers to their questions depended on what the definition of child trafficking is. What is. And furthermore, what is child trafficking? Clinton reportedly told members of the committee, I would like to ask you all, what does this term mean? And how, this is Babylon Bee, and how can I get out of any culpability related to these accusations, rhetorically speaking? Clinton was grilled on his associations with the infamous deceased billionaire Jeffrey Epstein and what his relationship with the women who worked for Epstein entailed. During the questioning, Clinton repeatedly stated that his actions depend on what the working definitions of terms actually are. What is sexual predator? What is a depraved pervert? What is massive scumbag? Clinton asked, I'm afraid it depends on your definitions of these words. I cannot give an answer if we don't agree on a solid definition. Also, is it lunchtime? Who else could go for Big Mac?
He did not say that.
No, this is Babylon Bee. I said it 3 times.
Oh, I'm sorry. See how believable it is, though?
I said it 3 times.
I'm so sorry. I'm trying to keep track of 9 live
Democrats
streams.
called the accusation.
You know what I was thinking as you were saying this? Does Bill Clinton have like the cognitive presence of mind to have an answer like that?
So listen, the fact that you could believe it.
I totally believed it. 1000% I believed it.
Yes. Yes, he did cite these things.
No, he didn't.
Democrats called the accusations against Clinton ridiculous and asked how a man with his character and spotless track record of upstanding behavior could be dragged into something so unseemly. Clinton responded by saying it would depend on what any given person's definition of unseemly was. Okay.
I'm
to
so
the real deal.
That wasn't
Close
the actual
it out. Close it out and go to the next one. Just hit close. Just XXX. Bill Clinton says, but Hillary Clinton, Bill and I have no connection to Jeffrey Epstein.
Wait, Bill and I?
That's what she said. Well, I don't know. That's what somebody's saying.
Okay.
They're like dressing in the same kind of outfit here. This is a very chummy picture here. In the White House. Look at Ghislaine. She looks like a witch staring at him. And they're like, this is super chummy. So Hillary Clinton is saying that Ghislaine was a guest of a friend at the wedding of Chelsea.
Oh, I'm pulling up. Wait, that picture's not in my thing. I can pull this up though.
Okay. She's in the front row of Chelsea Clinton's wedding. You just don't like bring a person that you don't know to a Clinton wedding. This picture, go back to this one if you can. Just close that out. If you close it out, I'll bring it back up. Bill and Ghislaine, this is a chummy picture. Okay. These people are chummy. They know each other. Okay. Now, I'm not going to read this monstrosity of a lie. But Bill Clinton's PR firm thought it would be great for him to tweet this out. Go ahead, read it. No, not that. The thing above it.
Oh, okay.
Just that.
Okay. As someone who grew up in a home with domestic abuse, not only would I not have flown on his plane if I had any inkling of what he was doing, I would have turned him in myself and led the call for justice for his crimes, not sweetheart deals.
Okay, let's scroll down a little bit here. Sure, Liz Churchill says, sure, liar. Bill Clinton had Epstein at the White House 17 times. Bill and Hillary ditched Secret Service numerous times and went to Epstein's Zorro Ranch in New Mexico directly from the White House. Bill Clinton is listed on the flight logs of the Lolita 26 times. But then, like, we all know, is that...
You can't zoom in on those.
Okay. And then there are other pictures with him with other women, okay, in the Epstein files. Okay. So if you scroll down, there's that. We know that.
Of course,
one.
there's that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was in Epstein's apartment or whatever. Your timeline is different than mine. So I think I have the next one over is Hillary Clinton used to attack.
If any, did you play in criticizing the character of the women who have accused Bill of sexual misconduct?
None. If somebody's willing to pay you $130,000 or $170,000 to say something, and you get your 15 minutes of fame, and you get your picture on the front page of every newspaper, and you're some failed cabaret singer who doesn't even have much of a resume to fall back on, and what's there she's lied about. You know, that's the daughter of Willie Horton, as far as I'm concerned.
What role, if any, did you...
Can we just wait? So
yeah, she's changed her little
accent. You know, she's just some hillbilly, or she was faking the accent because hillbillies are relatable. I don't know.
Yeah,
what it is there, Hillary. Yeah. We know that she has used those accents before.
Yes, she has used those accents before. Let's go to YouTube number 4. Trump He's uncomfortable with Bill Clinton being interviewed. What's that? He's a rock star. Amongst all the young people. Trump, you don't deserve them. No, it's kind of sad.
All right, can we skip ahead here?
Yeah. Because he was asked about the
No, I'm not. I'm not happy with the fact that they're not willing to give us what we have to have. So I'm not
Hang on, I think I wanted to get to the part where he's
later.
Hold on.
We'll have some additional talk.
Do they always? Here's the thing that gets me about this, right? They know that the president's going to come out. They know that the president's about to get on the helicopter. Can we not, like, it's 2026. Can we not get any, like, noise suppressing mics that we can get right in front of the president's face that everybody can share so we don't have to deal with this every single stinking day?
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to get to where he said he was not happy about the...
Because here's the deal. Somebody can clip this out and get rid of that noise with AI.
Exactly.
This is absurd. We need, like, tell me technology's so great without telling me it's great. Leah, you're going to look for that. I'm going to read some comments over here. Let's do that because I can toggle back and forth and do all kind of things that I want to do because...
Okay, what I went to find is this clip. Trump told reporters today that he was not happy to see Clinton deposed. As the former president was testifying behind closed doors at the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee as a part of the panel's investigation into the files linked to convicted sex offender Epstein. I don't like seeing him deposed, but they certainly went after me a lot more than that. He said, look, I like him, and I don't like seeing him deposed.
You want to play?
Yeah.
Did you pull it up? Or
no,
that's
no,
just pretty much it. So I think it was over on YouTube.
He lied through his teeth. Clinton denies any wrongdoing. He said that his relationship ended before any wrongdoing that Epstein ever did.
What?
Yeah.
No, the files prove that you were friends with him at the time that all of the wrongdoing was going on.
He saw nothing and did nothing wrong. He said, I saw nothing wrong. So then it goes to the Babylon Bee. What's your definition of wrong?
Right. Alice says, how come he and Hillary had closed door questions and that wasn't done for Trump?
He's pictured with...
And that's the jacuzzi picture.
He's pictured with a woman in a jacuzzi.
Leah,
but he says he didn't sleep with her.
Why do you think they were offered closed door depositions? I think probably because they wouldn't have agreed otherwise.
I don't know that they would have a choice. Like when they're subpoenaed, you have to answer.
So why do you think they offered him a closed door one? Because Hillary's been before the House committees.
Yeah, I don't know.
At this point, what difference does it make? You know, kind of thing. And then what you didn't talk about, Leah, speaking of Lauren Boebert, she is the one that leaked a photo of Hillary from the deposition to Benny Johnson. Benny Johnson admits that it was Lauren Boebert that leaked the photo because it's closed doors. These these congressmen are not allowed to leak photos. So here's Lauren Boebert like sending it to Benny, and then Benny's just like saying it was Lauren that sent it. And you're not supposed. And so then they paused the whole hearing just because this photo leaked out that Benny shared. It was a big deal.
Representative James Comer says, I will have to say that President Clinton answered every question or attempted to answer every question. Everybody knows President Clinton. He's got Southern people skills. He's a charming individual.
Of course he is.
So this is how Clinton this is mouth vomit. The fact that when you will let yourself be taken by a predator just because they're charming, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Like Comer resigned. That line right there shows you that you're an idiot. There are way more capable people who will be like, I see you, you're a snake.
All right, Steven says, my good friend died in this 9/11 scam. She left 2 children, and this smug guy makes me sick. I think and feel so sad about her every time they lie about what really happened on 9/11. That's really sad.
He's been pretty interested in answering, I think, all the questions of both the Republicans and Democrats. He's interested in doing it. And then he's upset. You made Hillary come in. She had nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. Nothing. She has no memory of ever meeting him. No memory.
So can
we bring up the I do not recall? We have told you guys this. Listen, Hillary Clinton, she set the standard. If you are ever investigated, how do you keep yourself from telling
nothing.
A lie? I don't recall. I don't recall. So he doesn't say she was never with him.
She ain't got no memory
She
of
has-
it.
Hillary Clinton has
lie.
amnesia
She
over
didn't
everything that could have ever been bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a memory of that.
I do not
We sang,
recall.
we call, he died. We
came, we saw, he died.
He died.
Mm-hmm.
She neither traveled with him nor visited any of his properties. Now,
but that's not true because she did.
Whether you're subpoenaed 10 people or 10,000 people, including her, was simply not right.
Bill.
So, at what point?
You got to do it more like Bill. Including her, it was just simply not right.
That was really good. I was trying to think about it, but I forgot how
It's
he
got to be
talked.
garbly and got to have a little
Yeah,
accent.
I think so, like that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, including her was just not right.
That was good.
Yeah, I just kind of, channeled my inner Billy Goat. Yeah. That's right. Whether you subpoenaed 10 people or 10,000, including her, is simply not right. She had nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. Nothing.
No.
She has no memory of ever meeting him.
I can't with you.
She neither traveled with him nor visited any of his properties.
Leah.
Oh my goodness. In her death petition, Hillary Clinton said that she did not know Epstein, even though Ghislaine came to her daughter's wedding.
No, but she said that she had an acquaintance with Ghislaine.
Well, here's the thing: in the files, there's one message that says Epstein says she's prettier in person. Hillary,
nuh-uh.
Yeah, she's pretty ugly on TV, but you could see that she might be at one point in time prettier in person.
Oh dear
Yeah.
God! So that means that he at least saw her in person.
Like you said, they lived at the White House. Of course,
He was there 17 times in a matter of 2 years. We just discovered, and somehow Hillary just so happened to never encountered him any one of those things times. This is so ridiculous. Kimberly says, "Isn't it a crime to lie in a congressional hearing?" Yes, Kimberly. It's not just a crime. It's not a little crime. It's a big crime. It's
No
a
matter
big
how many
crime.
photos you show me, I have two things at the end of the day that matter more than your interpretation of those. You say it. You read it. Those
No, you did
20-year
good.
photos.
Those 20-year-old photos. I know what I saw. More importantly, what I didn't see. I know what I did. More importantly, what I didn't do.
So what did you do?
I don't know what I did do.
But he knows what he did. So what did you do?
I know what I didn't do. I know
Speak
what I
it
did do,
to
and I
me
know what I didn't
on
do.
What you actually did. Why is Epstein at the White House 17 times? Why are you on plane 26 times? Why are you in jacuzzi in photos?
Oh my goodness.
Why are you there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we know that you. How many women did Bill Clinton rape, fondle, touch? Like, how is this guy even? How is James Comer not even just like look at him and be like, you are a vile sack of horse manure?
No.
Horse manure is good. I know.
Horse manure is great. You are a
You
vile sack of human
sack
excrement.
of rotting dead sewer rats. James Comer's like, no one's accusing anyone of any wrongdoing, but I think the American people have a lot of questions, so we're just going to bring them in, have a good time asking questions, and you know what? Because we ain't got nothing
Does
else
it say
to do.
have a good time, or you made that up?
I made it up a little
You
bit,
can't
but he
make
said
stuff
it was
that up,
entertaining.
like,
He
you
said it
can't.
was interesting.
Oh my!
No, the other guy did. He said it was interesting, but these guys don't have anything better to do. They have no. You could. There are a lot of people that you could indict. There's a long list of indictable people, and they don't want to do it. So, let's see here. Let's go to. I want to go to Thomas. We're going. Well, no, it's a commercial break yet. Yeah. Not to agriculture. Here we go. Is this Massey? Yeah. Is this when I go to Massey yet? No, I don't know if I want to go to Massey yet. There was one more.
Talk amongst yourself, Leah. Take your time. We're just here for you.
I know. Okay, here we go. This is where I want to go. I'm not done with Epstein. DOJ Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche under Bondi. This is crazy. He said that they did withhold images showing death, physical abuse, or injury.
Oh, wow.
Any depiction of CSAM or child pornography was obviously excluded. Anything that would jeopardize an active federal investigation. And finally, anything that depicts or contain images of death, physical abuse, or injury, also not produced.
Wait a minute. Could you maybe expound on what images included death and what those were like, at least? Could you tell us what that is all about? What are you talking about, death? What do you mean, death?
Or abuse.
Or abuse. Maybe you need to tell us, were there other adults in those pictures that you have identified, or videos that you have identified who these people are?
That I'm withholding from you that I would need to say. I'm withholding you.
I'm withholding any pictures of death or abuse from Leah and Michelle's camera roll.
You wouldn't need to say it unless they're there.
And if they're there, we need more details.
All right, let's go to Thomas Massey here. Thomas Massey just went nuclear on Trump's DOJ for bringing 0 charges and arrests.
To the right or to the left?
Yeah.
There it is. I see it.
The Department of Justice. Congress funds the Department of Justice, and Congress is responsible for the oversight of the Department of Justice. When will we see justice? I'll tell you what I've not seen. I've not seen any arrests from the revelations in the Epstein files, over 3 million documents describing horrible things, describing unspeakable things. So much of it redacted.
Unpostable things.
Over 2 dozen people have resigned, CEOs, members of government worldwide. But I haven't seen any arrests or investigations here in the United States from this Department of Justice. Prince Andrew, Duke of York, who has since been stripped of his royalty, his royal titles, due to his affiliation with Jeffrey Epstein, has been arrested. Peter Mandelson, who previously served as UK's ambassador to the United States, resigned in disgrace from United Kingdom's House of Lords and the Labour Party, and he's been arrested. Former Prime Minister of Norway, Torbjorn Jagland, has been charged. But we don't see any charges, arrests, or investigations in the United States. What do we see? We see our FBI director celebrating in the locker room at the Olympics overseas. It's fine to be proud of this country, but we should be proud of this country because we have a system of justice that works. And yet we do not. Who are the men that should be investigated? I'll name them right here. Leon Black. You don't even have to see past the redactions
here we go.
to see that this man needs to be investigated. Jess Staley, accused of terrible things. It's right there in the files. Why is he not being investigated? And Leslie Wexner. Why did the FBI list him as a co-conspirator in their own documents in a child sex trafficking case and then tell him, according to him, that they had no questions for him?
No questions.
Why is that? Well, the Epstein Files Transparency Act requires the DOJ and the FBI to disclose to us their internal memos and emails about how they made those decisions, whether to prosecute or not prosecute. Yet they have not delivered those memos. And we still don't have the memos and documents and emails from 2008 to explain why Jeffrey Epstein was given such a light sentence in what would have been an open and shut case of child sex trafficking, which allowed him to go back and recommit these terrible crimes, create hundreds of more victims, and ensnare so many other people in his conspiracy. Where are those documents that describe those decisions? We need justice. We want the Department of Justice to get to work, and that's what they need to do now.
Okay, so just to go over a list of arrests and resignations, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, Prince Andrew's been arrested. Peter Mandelson, former UK ambassador, was arrested. Thorbjorn Jagleg, former Norwegian prime minister,
charged with aggravated corruption. What is that?
Mona Juul and Church Rod Larson, Norwegian diplomats. And then resignations, high profile. Thomas Pritzker of Hyatt Hotels, Kathy Rumler of Goldman Sachs, the Sultan Ahmed bin Salman Saleham DP World, Casey Wasserman Media Group, Brad Karp, Paul Weiss. Then you've got some Bjorg Brenda, World Economic Forum, the Nobel laureate Richard Axel, Columbia University, Larry Summers, Harvard OpenAI. And departures include UK aide Morgan McSweeney, former Maldivian President Mohammed Wahid Hassin, and the closure of Sarah Ferguson's charity. So,
wow.
America's got, we're just doing nothing. Okay, commercial break now. Commercial break. I am going to warn you, this is not perverted, but it is funny and it is childlike humor. I'm going to do this commercial break because I watched this and I thought it was funny. If you think that I am immature for thinking this is funny, that's fine. I think after the Epstein files that we need a little bit of potty humor in our lives. Okay. So this is peak romance with married people with kids.
Tell Daddy I love him so much. If one of his butt cheeks fell off, I would share one of my butt cheeks with him if he needed me to.
Okay.
So she sends his kid.
I have to tell you, he was just thinking about to get extra butt cheeks.
That's perfect. Tell him.
I love you so much.
I love you so much that even if your feet were so stinky that everybody in town moved to another town to get away from them, I would still snuggle him.
Yeah. If your fart knocked out the world, he would still snuggle you.
Oh,
That's what he said.
That's so sweet and very likely.
That's what he said too.
I would eat bologna out of his teeth.
Ooh, that's so gross. Wait, what?
He didn't send you a message back, but he said,
Uh-oh, is it gross?
yeah.
What is it?
He was like peanut butter and jelly off your toes. You should make this a real app thing on your app.
I should make an app for this?
Yeah, because it's a fun game.
I think it's fun too. Tell Daddy that.
He's coming. He's coming in.
You want me to go in the other room so you can still bring the messages back and forth? Okay. Better be romantic. Is it?
Yeah, but if you were a grand fart.
A grand fart?
From a grandma's butt.
Oh.
He would trap it in a bottle, and so he could smell her fart for a day.
If you were a grand
I'm
fart.
going to scrape off some of his armpit stink and rub it into all my clothes so that I can smell him every day.
Okay. He's gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm done.
Oh my gosh, Leah.
Oh my gosh, I told you that. You could just think that I'm immature, but that household is full of love. Oh my God. So much love.
You need so much
So much
help.
stink and peanut butter and jelly and all the things.
Leah.
And what that the little kid was like, Mom, this is so fun.
You should make this into an app.
Should make this into an app.
It's the greatest game
she
ever.
said she loves you so much, and then you have to tell me how much you love her back, and it's the greatest game ever.
Leah.
I loved it. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, please tell me that family does more. Oh, I need it. I need it. It's so gross, but I need that. I needed that. It made me, okay, go to the left. I have another commercial break. This is not, this is more mature, okay?
A more mature commercial break?
Yes.
Okay.
7 years ago, a high school student in Candace had his cheek swabbed at a bone marrow donor drive after his teacher told the class she had once saved a stranger's life by donating. He figured they would never call. Months later, they did. He was a perfect match for a 10-year-old girl with a disease so rare that only 15 other children in the world had it. He went through surgery not knowing her name. 10 months later, he found out it was Layla Anderson, the girl who had become famous for inspiring her favorite hockey team during their championship run while fighting for her own life. Before they met, she wrote him a letter and signed it, "Your best friend, whether you like it or not." When they finally met, you can see.
I don't know how to put into words what I say to him. Do I just say, "Thank you for giving me a second chance at life"?
And then the glorious moment. The girl who inspired a city on one end and the quiet Kenton Finley, a sophomore at KU, on the other.
What did he do? Give a kidney or something?
Bone marrow.
Oh, bone marrow. Wow.
And he so you can be put in a database.
Yeah.
So he did, and then
The
he got a
hug may have
call.
been finite, but their connection is one that you can feel in your bones.
You mean the world to me, and I love you. And I'm so happy that you're okay. That's all I could ever want.
What a journey this year has been for Layla Anderson.
Stop
And
it.
because of a sacrifice, it's just getting started.
I feel like Layla's my closest friend, and I've only seen her for about 30 minutes now.
I don't care if we go to dinner or we go to Disney World. I don't care what we do. I just want to spend time with you.
I'm just wrecked.
Oh,
look at that face.
Oh my gosh.
Stop
Oh my
it.
gosh.
You guys, Leah.
Wait, scroll down. Like, scroll
That
down. This
screenshot,
was
though, like-
yeah, this is her now.
Nuh-uh.
She's older now.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
you're kidding. Is there like
Yeah.
a video?
Just click on it. I don't know. There you go.
I want to see a video.
She was inducted into the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame. She met Anderson in 2018 at a hospital where she was battling an autoimmune disease. During her treatment, her love for her favorite hockey team, the St. Louis Blues, kept her going. In 2019, she found her donor, and that's her now.
Hang on. This might be the video right here that's got an ad playing. We might have to let the ad go in order to see the actual video. Because
So I think that's why this is coming up right now, because she just was inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame.
just as a fan. She's just a super fan.
Yeah. But this just happened February 2nd of this year. So that's why it's coming up into the news again.
Okay, here we go. Hang on. Let me make this big.
Girl isn't who I am today, but I've learned a lot from what she went through.
Seeing how far now 17-year-old Layla Anderson has come, it's hard not to think about where our journey with her began.
She was a healthy kid up until just one day.
Layla's story with Fox 2 starts in a hospital room as she battles an autoimmune disease known as HLH and searches for a bone marrow transplant. During her treatment, a force that kept her going was her love for the Blues, a devotion that grew from a cheering fan on the sidelines
She must
to
have to take a lot of
vital member of the
steroids.
team
Oh, I'm
as
sure she
Blues
did,
players
yeah.
visited Layla during her stay in the
That's
hospital.
what you have to do with
It's
an
just
autoimmune disease.
amazing. I mean, these people try so hard and they don't have to. It means a lot.
Her support for the Blues and her determination to get better never stopped, even when things got hard for her medically and for the team on the rink during the 2019 Stanley Cup playoffs.
I will stay in that isolation longer if you guys can continue up this streak.
And that perseverance paid off.
Stop it.
The Blues took home the Stanley Cup, and Layla found her bone marrow donor through the National Marrow Donor Program, formerly known as Be the Match. She is now an advocate for the organization, saying they gave her a new beginning.
Every patient deserves a second chance at life. just like I got. And by supporting Be the Match, you're going to help make that happen.
In present day, Layla plans to attend college in the fall and eventually work for a nonprofit, using her difficult experience to the benefit of those around her.
I truly believe now that hard times make strong people, and that I was given such a hard challenge for a reason, and now I'm really grateful to not only represent myself and share my story, but share the stories of others and the kids who don't have a voice.
Reporting in downtown St. Louis.
Stop it,
Davis,
Leah.
Fox 2 News.
Oh my gosh.
Good news story.
That's the best news story ever.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, Candace Owens, here we go.
Oh boy.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so do you have the trailer to the Erika Kirk deal?
So I do. Let's
Okay.
do this. Let's open up a new window.
All right.
here.
So if you are an Erika Kirk fan,
okay,
you probably don't watch our show. If you are Erika skeptical or you don't like her, then you probably watch our
now
show.
this isn't the official trailer. The official trailer is on YouTube, and it's about a minute and a half long.
You want to find it? Okay, let's do that one.
I can
couldn't
play
find
this
it.
one. It's completely different.
No.
So you Google that while I'll play this one. How about that? And then we'll go
Is
and
it
get that one.
completely different?
It is.
Because I couldn't find it.
It's fine. Just go to YouTube.
I watched it, and you know what? They scrubbed it off X.
Okay, well then we can just play this
Erika
one.
Kirk has been named the new CEO of Turning Point USA.
My husband's dead. Like, I'm not trying to be morbid, but he's dead.
It's weird to say excited.
Describes her husband's funeral as the event of the century. Merch, hats.
We have 50,000 plus hat orders.
Nobody knows why she's out there in a glittering pantsuit in a recreated tent that her husband tragically was murdered in, throwing merch out.
Everyone grieves differently, so if someone's acting weird, don't read into that. My aunt used to tell me, never do something that you don't want on the front page of a newspaper.
Okay, so if you go to YouTube, I'm going to play this. I have been very uncomfortable with her, but I was not ready for where Candace was going to go, and I am going to have some critiques for Candace. Okay, I'm not a Candace fan, and unfortunately,
I got it.
President Trump says that Kirk has died after he was shot from a nearby building.
After being shot at Utah Valley University.
The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead.
The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry.
I didn't even get to give him a kiss goodbye.
That young man, I forgive him.
Take your time.
Erika Kirk has been named the new CEO of Turning Point USA.
My husband's dead. Like, I'm not trying to be morbid, but he's dead.
It's weird to say excited.
Describes her husband's funeral as the event of the century. Merch, hats.
We have 50,000 plus hat orders.
Nobody knows why she's out there in a glittering pantsuit.
if Michelle passed away,
you know when I did this about you, you said I don't like this line of conversation.
I'm sorry,
but you can do it. I don't care because it don't bother me.
I am not going to care about hats or merch. Like, guys, that's not a thing. We pulled off this great big event. You only say that if you pulled off an event and people are still alive.
In a recreated tent that her husband tragically was murdered in, throwing merch out.
Everyone grieves differently, so if someone's acting weird, don't read into that.
Zionists, the Prime Minister of Israel, all lied through their teeth about Charlie Kirk.
Her operation was in Constanta, the epicenter of Romania's trafficking scandal.
Weird conversations to have with a 15-year-old. I'm gonna touch your butt.
$8.6 million to their own shell company.
What is going on?
We have nothing to hide. My aunt used to tell me, never do something that you don't want on the front page of a newspaper.
I'm so grossed out, man. I don't. It's like, listen, people will say that. Listen, they say you're just jealous. There are a lot of beautiful people out there. Unfortunately, Erika is in a mega world. She's just another face. there's nothing about her that says I'm jealous of her. Like, it's just like they're in this mega world. There's a lot of beautiful people. And if you just go to this common denominator of, oh my gosh, you're just jealous. Well, you could say that about that Progene girl from California. She's just as pretty as Erika Kirk.
Yeah, and people hate her right now.
So what are we just going to say? Well, you're just jealous. She was Miss California.
Yeah.
So we've got a Miss Universe, a Miss Arizona against a Miss California. Are we jealous of both of them now? You got to pick one. You can't. So you got to throw that argument out.
So why?
So I'm not going to use it for the people on
But
Progene.
why is it?
You know,
why is it that you always have to be jealous of somebody instead of just being like, I don't like you?
It's racist. It's ableist to just say that anybody who's beautiful, if you don't like them, then it's because that you're just jealous of them. It's a really good cop out for people who are narcissists for themselves.
So are they saying to Candace, like, because for like,
so they said about Candace that she wanted to marry Charlie.
Okay, so that's the only argument that I think that you could give.
So other people are saying, you know, they're bringing up pictures of Charlie, no offense, that he had the really weird gums.
No, Charlie had to have had work done.
And
I watched the progression. I was looking for pictures today.
Autistic-ish, right? So the older pictures and everything be pre-Erika.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie is kind of an
even with Erika for the first like 3 or 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, he's an awkward looking dude. No, and that's not a bad thing. But the boys that she dated before were very muscular, very handsome, very much but she wanted, I believe, and I think we all she wanted the power of the world. So she's got two. Listen, I should just say what Erika's, what Candace is saying. But in the world that Erika is in right now, you're not supposed to be about looks. You're not supposed to be about power. You want to be a stay-at-home mom.
Well, when you say the world she's in right now, what
the
you mean
MAGA
is
conservative world. Charlie's world.
Charlie's world, not the because the world that she's in right now is Trump world, where you have to be thin, you got to have fake everything.
I think it was in Candace's documentary, but I don't know if it was.
Trump world is he wants you to pay the money to look fake.
So there's a clip where Charlie is saying that women should not be working because she says, Erika says, well, I want to, praise the stay-at-home dads too, because they're doing a good job raising kids and everything. And Charlie snaps real quick, like autistic, like, and I think he has autistic because he's just so, and I've seen him get real, like, it's okay. We just need to put this in perspective, right? So he jumps in real quick and says, but that is not the ideal. That is not masculine. That should not be your plan to be a stay-at-home dad. Like, that can't be. And he argues with her about it.
Right.
So I want to bring up I'm telling you, I'm not going to play a lot of this. If people are having like whole nacho bar parties over this, it's had like 4 million views. Probably going to have 5 million by the end of the night.
There's multiple episodes out. So we say it. What do you mean? Episode 1?
Episode 1, episode 2. Yeah. So people are having like get together parties or watching these things. Let me tell you something. This is when people say Leah Michelle, this is gossip. Yep. Yeah, it really, when it comes to Candace, it is. What I do is journalism. Okay. I'm telling you, I don't gossip, but Candace, I'm just going to tell you something.
Here it comes.
When it comes to Candace Owens, guys, she says things sensationally. She's a sensationalist. You've watched our show probably enough to recognize Michelle and I, we joke about things. We think things are funny, but I find it reprehensible and ungodly. And I'm just not going to, it's against my morals to sensationalize anything. And Candace has made a shtick of sensationalizing. Like, I will come to you and I will say that Brigitte Macron had a very horrible relationship with
a 15-year-old Emmanuel Macron.
And I believe she is a female. But they've created a whole elaborate thing to where if you get done watching Candace Owens, you'll believe that she's a male.
But she's a pedophile.
But I think she is.
I don't think she is. She is a pedophile.
So, yes. I know
Brigitte Macron is a literal pedophile.
She is. But I think she literally has the kids. I've seen the look on her kids' faces.
Yeah.
When they're like, no, she's like totally my mom. Right?
Yeah. This is ridiculous.
And so what happens with Candace and what is going to happen with this Erika Kirk thing, mark my words, most likely, is Candace, if I could just shake your shoulders just a second. If you really cared about getting the truth out there so that we can affect truth, you cannot mix it with sensationalism or false facts. Okay. The whole, you made millions of dollars off of your subscribers, and it was a work of like the Sun, or, what do you call those tabloid? You've become a tabloid.
Yeah.
Do you know that there are factual stories in some tabloids?
Yeah.
But the problem with a tabloid is that I'm not going to believe any of your stories. Right?
Well, they're not going to believe us because I just realized that we have our apostrophe and Owen's in the wrong place. That's Leah's fault and Michelle's fault for not double checking. I apologize. Her last name is Owens, meaning the apostrophe should come after the S, not before it. But let's not mince words. It's in the lower left-hand corner of the show today, and I'm very sorry about that. It's going to irk some of the grammar Nazis. I just saw it myself, and I'm sorry.
Okay, we're
Can't
not
fix it now.
purposely sensationalizing Candace Owens's.
It's in all the titles too. It's everywhere.
Okay, Candace Owens is. Candace Owens. Oh, Candace Owen. This is her documentary.
No, her last name is Owens.
I know, but I'm saying that the way we have it spelled
We
now
do have it spelled
is
wrong.
Candace Owen.
Yep.
Okay. However, I'm going to admit
Oh boy.
that I found last night's episode intriguing. And I was like, for real?
So let me ask you this though, on a serious note. You found it intriguing, but did you find it believable? That's the real question.
It did. And it was like, but here's the thing. I'm like, so I have a family past. And she literally, I'm going to play a little bit of it.
Oh boy.
So let's go to the beginning. Do I have it up? Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Heaven help us.
So we're going to I listened to episode 1. I did not listen fully to episode 2. I only have some pieces of that. I don't have time to listen to all these podcasts. I got Catherine Austin Fitz. That's awesome. So awesome.
Are we going to
today.
episode 1?
Yeah, we're going to go.
A Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah, A Wrinkle in Time.
Okay,
So,
you guys, there is
pause just real quick as I enter this. She goes into like her grandparents.
Okay.
And then her grandparents were like lottery shysters, like charlatans.
Faking
Erika's,
lotteries.
right? Yeah. And I proudly have that kind of stuff we do in our past.
I don't
because
know. It's
our
not that bad.
great aunt Stell, they ran rum. It's the same thing. It's a claim to fame, man.
Okay.
So Erika does too. Now I don't understand. Like, what's so funny about Candace is she like drops these facts, and it's a fact.
Yep.
And it's a disturbing fact, but it doesn't mean that it really has any bearing on anything. But the way she says it, she says this thing where like, hold that thought, and it's going to come back to play later. So by the time you're done, you have these 10 thoughts, and you're like, when are they coming back to play? And wait, what was that you said about the uncle and the aunt, and then the thing and the thing and the thing? And I'm trying to follow your family tree. At the end, you're just like, what did I just watch? What? So her parents aren't her parents, and she's related to the Jews, but she's not related to the Jews. Just play the beginning though. It's
okay.
It's interesting.
All right.
It is interesting.
All right, Candace, let's hear it.
very strange thing happening right now where a young woman with absolutely zero professional qualifications has been inserted at the top of a charity organization that pulled in over $250 million last year. And the media is telling you that you have no right to know or to ask anything about her. The argument being made is that her husband was murdered. Therefore, she has a right to assume the position. And despite the fact that Turning Point USA is a literal charity, and therefore it's not even have to pay tax on that $250 million plus or pay tax on the alleged future billions that it's due to rake in thanks to a deal with a man named Pierre. These talking heads are claiming that the public simply wanting to ensure the person who is running that organization is, I don't know, at a bare minimum, moderately honest about who she says she is. No, that inquiry makes you a monster. So I guess your job is to head to work 9 to 5, receive a flurry of unsolicited emails and text messages reminding you that Charlie Kirk, the innocent man that you watched be executed in broad daylight live, you're to be reminded that that was her Charlie. My Charlie needs your help. Here's how you can give us your 401k and house. The emails have been landing into your inbox at an alarming rate, saying things like that. There's virtually nothing that the feds are telling us about his murder that makes any objective sense. But if you're feeling weird about any of that, you're reminded constantly that she is a grieving widow. She's a grieving widow.
She is. We've heard that. Now, she's going to read Elizabeth Lane's statement. Did I read this on the show? I do concur with Elizabeth here.
It's about sheer evil. No, not mass murdering children. Sheer evil, investigating someone at the helm of a billion-dollar company. Despite all of that, the public remains unconvinced that she is simply a grieving widow, because she isn't simply a grieving widow. She's also the CEO and chairman of an organization. In fact, during our preparation for this series, an investigative journalist named Elizabeth Lane went viral on X because what she authored about Erika was brilliant. It just was objectively brilliant. It gave voice to what millions of people worldwide were feeling, but didn't exactly know how to express. And I'm going to read you her words in their entirety because I think it's very important, okay? Elizabeth Lane wrote, "I'm going to be blunt. I have reached the point where I find Erika Kirk to be deeply disturbing, not because of rumors or gossip, but because of consistent, observable patterns of behavior. To be clear, everything I say in this post is my opinion. I am not claiming this as a fact. I am saying this is what I think Erika Kirk is. I come from the world of acting and modeling. I have spent years around social climbers, opportunists, image curators, and people who treat relationships like ladders. That is why I left that world. Most of these people are shallow and harmless. A few are dangerous. Erika falls into the latter category not because she is just ambitious, but because of how calculated and performative her ambition appears to be. I believe she may be a psychopath. What stands out immediately is the reaction that she provokes in other people, which is very common with psychopaths. Across the board, including people who support her publicly, the private reaction is the same. It's, I can't watch her. It's not a criticism, it's just a physical discomfort. People turn off interviews because the presentation feels artificial to the point of being unbearable. Let me explain. That kind of response does not happen accidentally and does not happen often. Research in psychology shows that humans are highly sensitive to emotional incongruence, mismatches between a facial expression, tone, and content. When the effect appears simulated rather than genuine, the brain registers it as a threat. This activates discomfort and avoidance, even if the person cannot consciously explain why. So many of us felt this way, but we could not explain why we could not watch her. Studies on psychopathy, particularly those building on the work of psychologists like Robert Hare, describe traits such as a rehearsed emotional display and shallow affect. These traits can create what observers experience as an uncanny interpersonal dynamic. The discomfort arises, and people want to shut it off because most people rarely encounter extreme affective mimicry in everyday life, so the brain struggles to categorize what it is detecting. Erika is attractive enough, and she had every tool in her possession to sell this organically, except for one thing: emotion. The entire story of what happened could have helped her sell this fully. She really would have been the last person on earth to be a suspect, if not for the FBI's terrible mistakes, Turning Point USA's lies, and her very fake performance. Plenty of attractive, ambitious women move through media spaces without triggering that response, even though we know what they are. This is about something else, an extreme disconnect between presentation that she puts out and the perceived authenticity. Erika is not the archetype of a model actress seeking money and fame and then settling into a quiet life with a wealthy, good-looking husband. She is the wolf type, who wants to be in the place of that husband. She is not born for a supporting role. She's a decision maker. She appears to pursue proximity to power, moving fluidly between television, nonprofits, branding opportunities, and ideological spaces that maximize her exposure. Her previous partners are guys that women like her would date, muscular, jacked, good-looking, even though they are not people with huge potential. They are all somewhat established. They are good stepping stones until the right person shows up. Now looking at her previous partners, I would say that Charlie probably was not her type visually, but he was exactly what she was looking for in a man: potential to be a great power. What Erika was looking for is the same thing Hillary Clinton was looking for when she met Bill. She recognized that Bill Clinton was her ticket to power, the power that she could control, and she was right. She realized that she could create a great brand out of him and herself, and they still are a brand, the Clintons. No one in this world can say that those two love each other. They are a brand that works. That's why she's sticking around despite Epstein and Lewinsky. Also, if you think Bill is the decision maker there, you must have never been in close proximity to the Clintons. She moves the game. She is the decision maker. Erika saw a brand with Charlie. She also saw that Charlie could one day become president of the United States if he wanted to. Charlie had the ear of the most powerful segment of any society, students. He was going to be a very important player in politics, and she was not missing that ride. What is striking is how completely her public identity reshapes itself after that relationship begins. The aesthetic, the tone, the values, the presentation all change. Overnight, the persona shifts into the role that best suits Charlie's world: a devoted Christian, modest, a supportive housewife. That kind of rapid adaptation is quite impressive for a usual person, but not for a psychopath because they do it all the time. In my head, the story goes like this. For a moment, it works. She becomes the wife of a rising political figure with access to donors, institutions, and national platforms. At that point, the ceiling isn't social media influence, it's empire building, foundations, global reach, a legacy, a brand, the Kirks. It's obvious that Charlie listens to her, whether it's about donors or the trajectory of Turning Point USA. The most influential figure in any mentally healthy man's life is going to be his wife. She's going to be the biggest influence, and that is just how it is. That is why you need to pick your partner wisely. And everything was going well until Charlie began making decisions based on conscience rather than expansion and money. He turns down money. He refuses to play dirty politics. I am assuming someone like Erika, who married into this because she had a vision for this brand, would not be very happy about that. The life she appears to have signed up for, the power couple, expanding influence, historical relevance, was collapsing into something else entirely. Domesticity, housewife, kids, and now Charlie refusing to accept the money that can make him a global power. A supporting role instead of center stage is not her thing. Her husband died a few days ago, and she walks onto the stage as if she was born there. It comes naturally to her. She knows it and she wants it. Just days after her husband's death, she was already laying out ambitious plans for the company over Zoom. It's obvious she was always deeply involved in the business and knew exactly where to pick up when her turn came. What people struggle to watch, what makes the screen unbearable, is not grief. It's the absence of emotional continuity. Performances can be learned. Trust me, as a former actress, I can speak to that. But emotion cannot be improvised or mimicked if you've never experienced it. That's why I think we are dealing with a psychopath who has never really experienced these emotions and does not know how to play them. And audiences feel it instantly. It's fake. Again, this is just my opinion. Good place to start.
So it's not, yes, I concur with that whole statement. And I have on our show. And that's where I get, but then Candace goes down and like, she keeps like, she'll make, well, Indiana over here and MK Ultra over here. And it's like, Candace,
the Egyptian plane,
the Egyptian planes but so there are little tiny facts and I want to bring you the facts that do line up. Okay. Erika Kirk, her LinkedIn says, Erika Kirk has learned a lot from her mother, Lori Franz. And then she makes a big deal of her mom being a stay-at-home mom.
LinkedIn.
And that was this right here. It says she divorced Erika's father and raised her as a single mother. She spent nearly 2 decades working for General Electric, her mom, before founding multiple companies in a network security industry.
Before founding multiple companies in the network security industry, according to her LinkedIn. So you can see they're seeding the public with the idea that you can raise kids and be a single mom and also be a CEO and boss babe it. Okay. The only problem is that it's just not true. Erika was not raised by a single mother, like at all. Erika's father, Kent Fransve, by the way, he's Kenneth Fransve, but he goes by Kent, was always in her life. So much so that for entire years of her childhood, Kent was actually a stay-at-home dad. So almost the exact opposite thing was true at one point.
How do you say, like, this is Lori Francis, her mother's LinkedIn. Says, I raised my daughter as a stay-at-home mom or as a single mom.
Yeah.
But then but your ex-husband was a stay-at-home dad?
Now, you don't have to take my word for it. You can actually take Erika's. Take a listen.
Hold on. I do not want to knock the stay-at-home dads. I do not. There are some who had to temporarily have to switch that role. That happened to my parents a long time ago. Granted, again, they got a divorce, so that probably falls into your bucket. But
I am an anthropologist.
But my dad was a stay-at-home dad for a few years, and I got to say, it was really sweet and really special. I was 4, but that was...
Of course, it's not an indictment of the morality.
No, but if you're saying from the get-go, I want to be a stay-at-home
It is a imbalance.
dad.
It's an imbalance of nature.
So
that was the clip I was talking about.
Stay-at-home dad for a couple of years. She remembers it, so I would assume started at 4 for a couple of years. People don't typically remember being 1 and 2, and now he wasn't in her life. Now, to be clear, Erika was 10 years old when her parents divorced in 1998. So her father was very much a part of her early childhood, and he did not stop being involved in her teenage years either. I've spoken with classmates, past boyfriends, and people are generally bewildered as to why Erika is now publicly representing as though she does not have a relationship with Kent, the man that she claims is her father, at least. Or also, something she fails to mention is that even if you removed Kent, Erika was raised with her stepfather in her home, a man named Larry Ginta. In her high school yearbook, actually, Kent is included, her father, biological father, in a collage. And so are his parents, her grandparents, Carl and Elaine. So we can reasonably assume that her father was in her life. We can also assume from that photo that Erika was exceedingly close to her stepfather, too. You can bring that back up and I'll show that. But he's featured there, too. You've got Larry in the photo.
Basically, her mom remarries and she's not raised alone. And it's just, I understand where she's getting at. Then later on, I found this this to be funny to me with the lottery grandparents.
Okay, so we obviously cannot go so far as to suggest that Loretta Abbas Stanley Wallstad Francevay was openly committing fraud. We can't say that. What we can
She had just gone over their divorce. Their divorce papers they're falsified dates. There's a ton of falsified dates. And it's really weird.
Confirm to you, however, is that if she was doing that, breaking the law and committing fraud is something that Lori's family is kind of historically known for. They kind of arrived into this country doing just that. You see, Lori Francevay, like I said, was born Loretta Abbas. She was named after her Syrian grandmother, Loretta Abbas. I want to sear into your mind right now that the Abbas family history is steep in gambling and casinos. All about gambling and casinos specifically. As we go along in this series, the history and the present of gambling casinos is going to become increasingly relevant. So let's bring in the OG Loretta Abbas, Erika's great-grandmother who died in 1990, who is just constantly being arrested for running illegal slot machines. Okay, she came over from Syria and she got to work bringing filth and fraud in Pennsylvania. Check out.
Stop talking over. I can't hear
Her
Candace
grandma
and you.
came over from Syria and started the lottery scam. Keep going.
This article from 1941 where she testifies that she ran numbers. It says Loretta Abbas of Washington, Thomas Roberts, whatever, testified that they engage in the numbers business and had been arrested on numerous occasions. They explained their role in the numbers lottery without giving any direct testimony against the defendants. Okay, here's another one. We could keep going, but here's another article from 1944 where she pleads guilty to a lottery charge. It was before the court. She wasn't lying. She's always arrested on a lottery charge. The state police had a search warrant, and when they entered her house, they found a quantity of number slips. She was sentenced to pay the costs and $200 or 5 months in the county jail. Like I said, this was a family thing. Her husband was Mason Abbas, and he was magnificently fraudulent. I'm talking high-speed chases down the highway, lottery tickets blowing in the wind. Check out this article from 1935. And it tells us that he was overtaken in his automobile after a chase of several miles after he had failed to obey the officer's order to stop. Yes, Mason Abbas was arrested yesterday by County Detective Frank Krebs. Before an alderman, he was held for court in default of a $1,000 bond on a charge of conducting a lottery and was fined $10 and costs for refusing to stop when ordered to do so by a uniformed officer. During the race along the National Pike, which ended in West Alexander, Abbas is alleged to have thrown a package of 100 lottery tickets from his car. Officers recovered the tickets and are holding them as evidence. Yes.
So I don't see how Candace ties this into Erika at all. But as far as like a history in your family, this is pretty funny. Both of your grandparents.
I know. It's like it's freeancestry.com. Candace has done. Like, honestly, Erika should thank her. Like, wow. Like, she can come out and just say, I didn't know.
But
it's
she
so
doesn't
neat to know.
talk about these grandparents. She talks about the Swedish one.
The Fopa Fapa Fipa?
Yeah. The
lottery, gambling, slot machines.
The Marfar.
Again, sear that into your mind. Not just on Erika's maternal side of the family, not just the Abbas side, but also the Swedish side, the Francevay side. The Swedish side of the family, I will be clear, there's a notable difference. It seems like they've been involved legally. Carl Kenneth Francevay is Erika's paternal grandfather. Okay, he participated extensively in horse racing. More crucially, though, he was an executive at the American Banknote Company in Illinois. This is the company that was responsible for printing lottery tickets. It's a big contract, big deal. Here he is in a newspaper in 1974 doing just that. It reads, printing began this week on the first Illinois state lottery tickets. Up to 10,000 agents. It tells us at the bottom there that Kent Francevay of the...
But what are the odds?
Both family doing lottery tickets?
What are the odds that your mom, her parents, like, they were fake lottery?
Yeah.
Then you find a guy whose dad did the real lottery.
Well, how come we're not in this lottery business?
I don't know, but like, what are the
this a
odds?
big deal?
Like, what's the lottery odds on that? You know what I mean? And I could just see Miss Syrian mom. Oh, yes, Lori. Find a husband from the man in the Swedens who has the real lottery. That's what we always want to do. Do lottery legit.
Yeah.
Come on, Lori.
The American Banknote Company, the printer, examines the first tickets of the initial
strange.
fresh one. Let's stick with Grandpa Carl Kenneth Francevay for a little bit because he is, by all accounts, obviously Swedish. Erika herself is therefore Syrian Lebanese on her mother's side and Swedish on her father's side. So something which struck me as immediately odd about Erika is just how deeply she identifies as Swedish, despite her public insistence that she was raised by a quote-unquote single mother. Think about that just from a social perspective. If Erika was indeed raised by a single mother, wouldn't you expect her to identify more deeply with those Lebanese Syrian roots, right? You might even understand it if she resented her Swedish roots. Like, my dad didn't do anything, and so I'm not even doing anything with the Swedes. I don't even like being Swedish. To the contrary, Erika feels so deeply attached to her Scandinavian roots that in 2019, she moved to begin the process of obtaining her dual citizenship. She posted this herself, where she is, dual citizenship commenced. Okay. Maybe you're thinking logically.
So we'll tell you this is hilarious. Girl born in Cincinnati has a grandpa from Sweden. So I get to call this girl out. Because a half Swede, no half Swede. Okay?
We're not half Swedish.
Well, you know,
She's
on
not
that
half
side,
Swedish.
on the sweet, on this half,
I know.
half of the top.
I get it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
On
actually,
her father's side,
we kind of are like,
we're not half Swedish because our dad would be, if our dad was anything,
I
he
call
would be
it
close.
Scandinavian.
Our dad is half Scandinavian.
No, he's full Scandinavian.
he's-
Stop it.
Okay, yeah. I
He's
guess
fully
so.
Scandinavian.
Yeah.
I just to be clear, our grandfather is fully Swedish.
Yes.
And he married a woman who was half Norwegian, half Swedish, like not broken up in any other pieces.
Right.
So, you know, you could
Leah, we're American, dude.
We're half Swedish.
Well,
Nobody cares.
She loves her grandpa. I had a fantastic
With a little
grandpa.
Norwegian.
I get that. I should mention
then my
her,
mom's a
she comes
mutt.
from a very long line of the Swedish Freemasons. She definitively was close to her grandfather.
Yes, I'm
We
American.
know this because she posts about him many, many times over the years, referring to him affectionately as her morfar. Saw this over and over again. You just see posts of him and how much she loves him. She even mentions her grandmother there. That's his wife, Elaine. And
I do find this hilarious because my grandfather went around talking in what we thought was pretend Swedish, but never once did anybody suggest that we call him any sort of Swedish
We just called him
grandfather
Grandpa.
name. It was just
Yeah.
Grandpa Svensson.
And she says she is my angel in heaven, but I usually call her Mormor. So that's her morfar and her mormor. Show you another post, just her grandfather, where she's going to talk about reflecting upon losing him in 2016. She's posting this, and she again is going to address him as her morfar. This appears to be another wrinkle. You see, I received a flurry of emails from our fans in Sweden about this particular post, and they did not like this post. And what they told me about it, they didn't like about it, made me reconsider things. Now, I'm paraphrasing, but they said, Candace, Erika is referring to her grandfather as her morfar. I was like, okay. So I looked it up. It means grandfather in Swedish. Like maybe she doesn't, it's cute. Okay. Maybe she's not fluent, but she's cute. And then they explained it to me a little further. They said, no, Candace, the Swedish language is quite literal here. Morfar quite literally translates into mother's father, morfar. And farfar quite literally translates into father's father. We have different words for these things. These have entirely different meanings. You would never call your father's mother your morfar. You would never call, that's what she's doing. She's calling him her morfar. That is Erika's farfar. If Kent is her father, her father's father is her farfar. She said, the woman emailed this, she said, no Swedish grandfather would ever allow you to refer to him as morfar if he was not actually your morfar, okay? If he was your farfar, he'd say, very cute, I'm your farfar. Let's get that straight. This would be something akin to being someone's grandfather and allowing them to call you uncle. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. Words have meaning. So why is her very Swedish grandfather, so Swedish, this line of Freemasons, Masons Swedish, allowing Erika to call him my mother's father? Lori's father? No, that's not Lori's father. What's going on here? This is an incredibly interesting wrinkle, which brings us to a point where we should introduce you to the family tree so you can just kind of see what's going on here, because
This is weird.
Farfar scandal troubles me deeply. Is Erika lying? Is she mistaking? Is she making a mistake at all? Or is she
Are you guys still
accidentally
with us in the
actually-
comments? I need to hear from you.
Let's take a look at
Watch
some other
this, watch
interesting
this.
tidbits.
Okay.
On March 21st of 2019, Erika visits with Charlie. She's in Jerusalem with Charlie, what is known as Zion's Gate in Jerusalem. She posts a picture with a pretty curious caption. It reads in part, meet Darla, a Romanian Jew that now calls Israel home. She was sitting by my family's dedication sign for restoring the Zion Gate in Jerusalem.
You gotta have really cool photographers to like take pictures of you like that, because people don't take pictures of me like that. You know
What?
Look at Leah doing
Why
this
is
amazing
Erika
thing.
describing the Zion's Gate as her family's dedication. Speaking
This
of
is
which,
this is kind of funny.
Why does her one-time roommate Nicole Rothstein, allege that half of their family, referring to her and Erika's family, is Jewish. Doesn't make sense. She also claimed that after Charlie's assassination, that Erika, she was online going back and forth with people, that Erika was her best friend and her cousin. Nicole Rothstein said this. Now, I want to be clear, the Rothstein family, the Zion's Gate is their dedication. Nicole wouldn't be lying if she posted that it was her family's dedication, but Erika? Also, how did Erika and Nicole Rothstein get so close? Remember, Erika presents that she was raised by a single mother on the Lebanese side. If Erika is telling the truth about her paternity, then Nicole Rothstein, I want you to understand who this would be to her. Nicole Rothstein, it's going to sound ridiculous, but this is the reality. If Erika's telling the truth, Nicole Rothstein would be Erika's father's sister's husband's previous wife's daughter's daughter. In other words, zero blood relation, not even kind of related. Kind of crazy. Would even call each other cousins. People do that. It's cool. Cousins, my cousin. Okay, cool.
Daughters.
Erika goes a little further though. Erika also posted a lovely tribute to Alan Rothstein, Nicole's father, online. She calls him uncle. Uncle. Whoa. If Erika's telling the truth about who her parents are to Erika, that would be her father's sister's husband's previous wife's daughter's husband. Suffice to say, again, absolutely zero blood relation, and yet Erika is extraordinarily close to him as well. Now, we can show you on the family chart just how removed this is. It's insane. Okay, but we actually couldn't even fit it. It's so far removed. So you got her aunt Carla is married to a guy named Jack, but Jack was also previously married to somebody else, which you see there named Edna. And this is Edna and Jack's line. This has nothing to do with Erika Franzwe. Again, how did she get so close to these people? Why is she referring to them as her family?
So I kind of know where this is going, but I'm just going to point out the obvious that all of us are thinking. We're all looking at this Carla lady and we're going, is that Erika?
Mm-hmm.
So I've not seen this. I've not watched this. I don't know where this is headed. But to me, when I'm looking at this Carla lady, I'm
She
like,
looks so
she looks
much
like a
like-
black and white version of Erika.
Yeah.
Like to the T.
I know, but
So-
Lori does not look like her mom.
Lori does not look, it's the blonde hair, but like this woman, Lori, looks nothing like
So
Erika.
normally the mother's side is on the right and the father's side's on the left. She's got it backwards, so her mom's on the left and her father's on the right for room's sake.
But I just need to point out that I don't know where Candace is going with this. But the first time I saw this family tree, I thought, man, that Carla lady looks exactly like Erika. That's all I'm going to say, and we'll see where this goes.
And declaring that Zion's Gate, which is actually their family's dedication, which has nothing to do with her aunt Carla. Why is she saying if that's her family's dedication? That makes no sense. I'm struck by this. We could imagine how it could make sense. Now, again, we're imagining here. We're trying to make sense of the things that Erika is saying. I could imagine a very easy way it could actually make sense. Her closeness to the Rothsteins, her dedication to Jerusalem, if and only if we take Erika literally when she says Morfar. Let's assume that Grandpa Carl is indeed her mother's father. That would mean, well, obviously, Lori's wouldn't be her mother. It would also mean that Kent, just by nature of him being a man, is not her father. We're looking for her mother's father. So we have to start looking at Kent's siblings that are females. That would give us only 3 options. We can bring this back up. One of Kent's sisters would be my first pick. Again, we're in conspiracy land here, but I'd go with Carla because she's married to Jack Solomon, and that is Jack Solomon's dedication. Carla wasn't even married to Jack until 2002. She just jumped in and was like, this is my whole family and my family's dedication. No. But if Carla, her mother's father, if her mother was Carla, actually it would all make sense. Solomon is the very man who financed the restoration of Zion's Gate in Jerusalem. If Jack Solomon was her father, then Nicole Rothstein would indeed be her blood relative cousin. But again, that's purely speculation. We don't have to go into speculation. Let's give the facts more about Jack Solomon. What is factual is that Jack Solomon eventually marries Carla Franzwe in 2002. And there are also some other really interesting facts about Jack. Jack and Erika's mommy aunt, I don't know, Carla, live in Utah. He graduated from what is today known as Utah Valley University. He's very involved in the university. It was formerly known as Utah Valley State College when he graduated from there. He also created on their campus the Center for Jewish Studies. I mean, at the very least, you'd think with all of the money that he poured into that university, he might be able to call someone to get us more footage of Tyler Robinson. Or Carla. How about Carla? She's married to the man. She could.
Aunt Carla's husband helped run programs at the university that Charlie was killed at. That's a little close to home. It's a little weird. It's in Utah. Out of all places, it's not like we're from Cincinnati, you know what I mean? Like it's very strange that would be that I'm going to say that is
Let's
a strange.
repeat this. Let's repeat this.
Her aunt
aunt. So it's technically her uncle by marriage.
Yes.
She's married to
but
a
he
man.
didn't marry him to 2000.
That's fine. It doesn't matter. He's still her uncle.
Yeah.
By marriage. Is married to the man that runs the Jewish programs at Utah University, where Charlie was
Call someone
shot.
to get us more footage of Tyler Robinson.
I get
Or Carla. How about Carla? She's married to the man. She could have maybe, in my imagination, made it to the hospital when Charlie was shot and killed. I mean, why did none of them make it to the hospital? They're all so nearby. She still lives in Utah. This happened in their backyard. Their family has a lot of power at UVU. Why not Auntie Carla rather than Stacey Sheridan accompanying you onto Air Force 2 as your husband's body is escorted to Arizona? Jack Solomon was also a professor at BYU in political science. He's the former director of the university's Jerusalem Center. He also served on the Center for Jewish Studies on the board at UVU. Zion's Gate, like I said, is his dedication. And if you're wondering how Jack got so rich, it's because back in 1968, Jack and his business partner, a man named Norman Vance, began a company called Advanced Patent Technology. That company would go on to manufacture slot machines. You got it. Slot machines. Everybody's, it's just amazing. It's like everyone is involved in gambling. Per his bio, in 1974, Jack gathered more than $5 million to purchase United Coin, the manufacturer of slot machines and the holder of a profitable Southern Nevada slot machine routes. In 1979, they announced plans for the Colorado Bell Hotel and Casino in Lachlan, Nevada, the first of a series of hotels to be built in the Las Vegas area. They had a lot of power in that area. Where were they?
So that's very interesting. And then she tried to find where
all the YouTubers who are interested in investigation,
where she went to school, and it's a very
where Erika went to school.
Where Erika went to school, yeah. And this was definitely, well, a wrinkle in time.
School came to fruition when a man named John T. Goley incorporated Educational Alternatives up in Minnesota. It was called Educational Alternatives Incorporated. Now, John T. Goley was a big guy. He had formerly helped launch Roundup Monsanto, just a little bit of government poisoning you, giving you a bunch of cancer. This time, though, he was pioneering charter schools in America. He teamed up with the Walton family, the Bush family. Yeah, everybody involved in this school that Erika's going to attend. It's interesting. I don't know. Don't you want to go to school where the Bushes, the Waltons, Monsanto is getting together a school? I don't know. Want to send your kids? Anyways, John T. Goley, and Jeb Bush went on to Good Morning America to announce the project. The schools would come to be known as Tesseract schools, named after the children's book, A Wrinkle in Time, a story about time travel. The protagonists of that book fly through space and time using a Tesseract to rescue their family from evil forces. It's a battle between good and evil using time travel, and it's about to get even more fun. Because when these powerful families decided to start the Tesseract School in Arizona, they began with a small school in Paradise Valley first. It is that specific school that Erika attended that is virtually impossible to come by many documents regarding. They needed a space for the school, and they decided they were going to rent the building that was owned by a Jewish school. Forgive my terrible Hebrew, but the school, I kid you not, was called Gan Yaladim Looking Glass School. It's like, I just love this so much. So Tesseract was put into a looking glass. I just think it's fantastic. I just imagine they thought I was like dropping some clues. I was like, why are they all freaking out about this episode about Project Looking Glass? They probably thought I had already known that she went to this looking glass school, this little elite looking glass school down in Arizona. By the way, Tesseract, the school itself, is exceedingly Jewish in terms of the administration. It was run by Jewish executive directors. The teachers are all Jewish. Obviously, you know me, I'm nosy. I tracked down the yearbooks. I mean, I was working really hard while I was off. And I can show you that Erika was at school. I don't have they have not. We just call my pictures. Someone's looking into her background. Pray.
Okay, so that's the first episode. I haven't gone through the second. The third one's out already. That wasn't there's a lot in Erika's background that is questionable. But I will play, I think, one like random clip over here that I think I have. This one from episode 2 about the beauty pageants. And Erika,
even though you haven't seen episode 2 yet,
I haven't watched the whole thing. No,
Right,
but I
okay.
watched a couple clips to the left. I think is the one all the way. Yeah.
Was it after that? That's when you started pageants, or when did that come about?
So the pageant world to me is something that it was an interesting season of life. It was nothing that I was ever groomed for. It was nothing that was ever on my radar. I just I wanted to play professional
You're a
basketball.
tomboy.
That was my thing. I remember getting something in the mail when I had come home from school one summer, and it was like, hey, you should compete at Miss Arizona USA. Someone nominated you. And I was like, I don't know who would nominate me for that, but okay. So the pageant world for me was something that was not a form of narcissism. It was more along the terms of being a steward for my state, especially as it hit our 100th year celebration.
Yeah, that's not right. That's not true. Erika has been involved in pageants from the very beginning. Her mother is definitely the person who pushed that. I actually do believe that Erika loved basketball. There's no question she plays basketball. But this idea that she didn't want it is just not true. It's so objectively not true. Erika, without question, and anybody who's being objective and honest and looking at her history of the people that she dated and the people that she wanted to be in close proximity to, can guarantee to you that this girl wanted to be famous, like very badly wanted to be famous one way or the other. I mean, one of her exes was very clear. He said to me, I was warned by another person in beauty pageant world that girl will do anything to get to the top, and her mother will do anything to help her get to the top. Her mother herself, Lori, was a model, actually.
She actually does
at
look
one
like her
point.
there.
So
She does.
that hunger for Erika to get to the top, there is a connection just based on discussions that I have had with multiple people to her mother. Erika is, without question, a climber. Okay. She is also, without question, willing to lie to make her mother look better. I mean, to say I grew up with a single mother is not true. So why is she saying it? Well, people suspect probably Lori is the person in her ear getting her to say that because it makes Lori look good. She wanted Erika to be famous, but let's not remove Erika from this. Erika desperately wanted to be famous. No one can deny that. Tomorrow, when we now begin in earnest to go through Erika's life, you will see she's never dated a normal guy. She's never dated a guy with a 9-to-5 job. And that's what Elizabeth Lane was hitting at when she was speaking about going through her exes. You can see like she was going to be with somebody. She was, okay, you're going to the NFL, you're going to the MLB, we can be on The Amazing Race together. You will see very clearly she is not dating a regular guy ever, okay? Her goal was to make it.
That's true. Okay. So you can pause that. I'm going to...
Oh, we weren't screen sharing that. I'm so sorry,
shoot.
guys.
Oh, wow.
Well, you heard it.
I am going to watch the other two. I think that a little bit of it is definitely gossipy. But this over here where we see everybody saying, I'm convinced Candace Owens is a demon. Candace is a demon. Candace is a demon. Candace is pure evil.
I just want to show this is because we weren't screen sharing. This is her mom, Lori.
And they do look
and
a
I
lot
said
alike.
she does look like her mom. She totally does there.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna call that one probably not a thing. Like,
yeah, but no, the far thing is really far fetched. Like, that's so strange.
It could just be her wanting to try to be Swedish. You know what I mean? Make something up.
Maybe she just didn't know.
Maybe she just Googled grandfather
sure.
and just like she wasn't as close to him as she wants.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Makes sense. Where are we at now?
Yeah. Just over to the left is where, keep going to one more. There you go. That was where everybody called Candace a demon. And I think that there's a concerted effort to bring Candace down as well for calling these things out. So, a couple more stories from this week. I would like to play a little bit from Catherine Austin Fitz here with Tucker, starting around 7 minutes here. Really great interview. I highly recommend that if you want to cleanse your brain from the Candace stuff, which feels like chocolate fudge, and you want to eat some meat, Catherine Austin Fitz is the meat of the world, I think. In this, she is explaining how the government wants to use biometrics, wants to be able to send internet into your house to be able to find you and see what you're doing, and really create a digital currency.
I have so many questions. I've probably been in 6 or 7, 8 countries in the last month. And I think in every single country I had biometrics taken,
right?
Either fingerprint or facial recognition.
Right.
What role do biometrics play in the control grid?
That's part of the digital ID system. And that facilitates the surveillance. And it's interesting. So we do a lot to promote cash because I think there are many things we can do to slow down or stop the digital control system. But one of it is by embracing analog and keeping analog alive. Because to go to a really serious programmable money, you need an all digital financial system. So we do a lot with cash. But people will tell you if you go to Walmart, you leave your phone in the car and you use cash, you come out having made a purchase. And the next thing you know, the next day on your phone, you get a text from the company of the product you bought at Walmart. So they were able to identify you. It's because of the biometrics. They have your facial recognition. Nuh-uh.
I had a crazy experience with cash. I thought if right before Christmas, I wanted to pay employees a bonus in cash, which I always do. And so I asked my wife to go to the bank. She did. Wells Fargo branch, not far from her house. I want to take out this amount, pretty large amount, but not crazy, right? And they said, no, we can't give you the money. And why? Because we think that you are being scammed, that there's probably someone outside with a gun demanding that you withdraw cash. And she's like, what? No. So she called me. Anyway, I finally went into the bank and got upset. It wasn't their fault. They were being told, I think, by federal regulators not to give me cash. And I said, I thought the point of a bank was to hold my money. You loan it out at interest. I get less interest from you, so you make the money, but my money's safe, but I get it when I want because I made it at my job. And they're like, we're so sorry. But they wouldn't give me the cash. It took 2 weeks to get the cash.
So
what is that?
It's called nudging. Do you know what nudging is?
No.
Oh, there's a whole science of nudging. So if you're the central bankers and you want to take cash down to zero, what you do is you create lots of different kinds of rules and regulations that nudge people in that direction. Okay, so that's one of the things that's happening. And you use these things as an excuse. Now, there's something else happening.
So that's not my imagination. That's part of a strategy to get me not to
Part of what was happening was nudging.
Pause.
Now, if you...
Leah and I have experienced this on multiple occasions.
All the way, just like $1,000.
Well, yeah, but there were times where with the inheritance that Patriot Gallery got years and years and years ago, we did not feel comfortable having all of that cash in the bank. And so we don't have it anymore because we spent on a bunch of stuff. But at the time, it was a good amount of cash. And so we pulled it out in different segments at different times. So there would be times where we would go in and try to take $5,000 out of the bank. And they would say, no, you have to schedule to come back in because, and this was always their excuse, which is a lie, by the way. We don't carry that amount of cash to be able to give out. That's not true. They always have that amount of cash that they can give you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. It was a straight up lie. And you know what I said at the time, Lee? I don't know if you remember this. And I've said this ever since. I know a lot of people, let's say they get their paycheck and it's like $4,000. They will go into the bank, they will plop that check down and they will say, cash my check.
Right.
And they're allowed to leave with their money.
Right.
But if your money, once it's been deposited, you can't get it out.
Yeah.
They hold it at ransom.
And so why are they doing this?
Disarm, take them out of your account, and they can essentially determine the rules of how it all gets spent. And so it's a very, it's sort of a financial coup d'etat that over time, they want to assert complete control of fiscal and monetary policy. And essentially the legislatures will go to being sort of show and tell or, go out of business.
We're moving quickly in that direction where the legislatures in every country are becoming less powerful, in many cases irrelevant.
So here's my theory, though. If you go back to 9/11 and when Wesley Clark said we're gonna invade 7 countries in 5 years, what you were talking about were the countries where those central banks were not on board to do programmable money. And their governance structures were not on board with essentially, because of Epstein, I'll call it the Rockefeller Rothschild model. There was an effort to say, okay, we're going to basically assert control of the central banks in those countries. That's my interpretation. And I think one of the reasons we're seeing so much tension around Iran is because Iran right now is the big leakage in the system.
How?
So,
wait, it's not about their nukes?
No. So, well,
this is important.
Iran's central bank counts. One of the reasons it counts is because their oil and energy is very important, including for China.
Yeah.
And that's very important in the BRICS system. What the BRICS system is trying to do is to create independent payment systems. But if you're going to come out with programmable money, with digital IDs that are interoperable globally and programmable money that controls in each jurisdiction centrally, you can't afford leakage. And so you've got way too much leakage in the system to proceed with what they're trying to do. And Iran and the BRIC nations are a sticking point. And certainly Iran's oil, feeding China gives China greater independence.
So you think that one of the motives behind toppling all these governments was the creation of the control grid we're talking about now.
Right. So if you go back, so you had the wonderful Richard Werner on your show, and Richard has a book called The Princes of the Yen, which is about the sort of effort to take over the Japanese central bank. And I think what you're looking at, I think part of the state of play with both Russia and Iran is how are you going to make sure that those central banks are entirely in the system?
So, yeah, that was an amazing interview. And he told the story about writing this book on the Japanese central bank. I can't imagine a more obscure topic from my non-economically minded standpoint. It'd be like writing a book on postcards from the Falkland Islands. It's like, it's just, okay, a book on the Japanese central bank. And he said, well, actually, they suppressed it. I couldn't get it published in the United States, and you can't get a copy. And that's like checkable. So I checked it. You can't get a copy of that book. It's really hard.
I think you can order from its publisher right now.
Okay.
Right.
But I mean, that's
forward here
like,
to
reasons that we're issuing stablecoins is as foreign purchases of treasuries diminish, we're hoping that you can put out stablecoins worldwide and attract retail money into the treasury market. So the wholesale market is rejecting you. And so now through the mobile payment systems, you can put out stablecoins.
So it's another way of propping up U.S. debt.
It's another way of preserving U.S. dominance, dollar dominance, okay? But the danger, of course, is, there are two dangers. One is if everyone in your town in Maine pulls their money out of the bank and puts it on their mobile payment stablecoin, all the loan market and the credit creation market in your town is going to collapse, right? Because they're leaving your local economy and going into the treasury market to finance the feds.
So what Amazon did to retailers in towns, stablecoin could do to banks in towns.
To community banks and credit unions. Yeah. Now, they can also issue stablecoins, but again, that money's going to go into the treasury market rather than multiply on Main Street. There's been a real quiet war over the last 20, 30 years because the federal regulators have pushed the community banks and credit unions to not make loans on Main Street, but put their money in the investment portfolio where they do buy treasuries. Okay. And this is all part of getting your local economy more and more dependent on federal money.
I'm seeing this.
Yes.
There are only like 4 trends in the modern world, and this is one of them.
So
Power,
that's
money,
important because the more it's propping up the dollar because the dollar is failing. Mm-hmm. So we need more people to buy the treasuries. Right. And to stick, you're just like, because a lot of the other foreign governments are pulling their money out from the treasuries.
It's like buying bonds.
Exactly. Let me see here. Where are we going to go to? The privatized prison system. Okay, digital currencies.
And contractors working for the federal government can do the same.
Right. That's Deloitte and JP Morgan too.
Right. And what that means is basically the entire large cap stock and bond market in the United States is secret. The disclosure is meaningless. It doesn't mean anything. And if you go to Solari, we have a missing money section, and we have extensive not only descriptions of FASB 56, but what it means to investors.
On what grounds could the federal government declare private businesses, the whole of itself, all kind of off limits to disclosure?
They have no legal basis because this is in violation of the Constitution, the financial management laws, and the financial management regulations. We have a section at Missing Money with 7 briefing papers. It took me 2 years working with our attorneys to do it, that describe all the financial management laws of the United States so that you can see. And luckily, one of the interesting things that happened when FASB 56 passed is Matt Taibbi picked up on it and wrote an article about it. It's funny, he emailed me, he said, okay, I got the briefing papers, thank God. Because it's very, if you're someone like Matt Taibbi, it's very hard to sit down and learn the financial management laws of the United States. That's why we did the briefing papers, so that any reporter could, get into this and master it in a reasonable period of time.
Was this or just a regulation? Was this voted on?
This is administrative policy. So in law, there's the Constitution, there's the financial management laws, there's the regulation, and then there's the administrative policy. So this is the total inversion. This is an administrative policy saying we can break the Constitution, the financial management laws, and the regulations by administrative policy. But the House, the Senate, and the White House all agreed. So it was a joint, and they tried to sneak it through. And I was very lucky because there was a guy at the time who worked for the American Federation of Scientists who literally read the Federal Register. And I had signed up for his newsletter because I didn't want to, but I trusted him to do it. And he would keep an eye on the black budget issues. A guy named Steve Aftergood, very good. And he, in his newsletter, he read it and he understood what it meant. Because it's so boring, nobody would understand.
Well, that's exactly right.
Right.
What's not boring, and I'm sorry to keep interrupting you, but I don't want to
that is a little bit interesting because they go over some, I thought that was the digital currency thing, but I'm going to skip to why they want to destroy Thomas Massie.
And you have to do it not just in the so the New York Fed is depository for the U.S. government. So you have to do it in those accounts, but you also have to look at the borrowing accounts and the slush fund accounts, which is the exchange stabilization.
Has anyone attempted to do any of that?
So Rand Paul and his father and Congressman Massey have talked about auditing the accounts. And it's funny because Massey and I were at a great conference once, and he was talking about shutting down the Fed. And I kept saying, no, you don't shut it down until you get the 21 trillion back. Otherwise, they get to keep the 21 trillion. So Thomas was up giving a wonderful speech, and he said, I think we should shut down the Fed. And then he looked at me and he said, after we get Catherine's money back.
Can I ask just quick about Massey? He's obviously gotten into a very personal altercation with the president ongoing. There's the question of AIPAC. He was one of the few people who didn't take AIPAC money. But the all-out effort to destroy him, I just feel like there's something more than just getting in a tiff with Trump for not taking AIPAC money.
So here's what's at the heart of Massey's fight.
Yep.
And, are we going to be run by the rule of law, or are we going to be run by a secret governance system, essentially consolidating things into what I would call the mega rich, who are above the law? Are we, this is fundamentally about, is there going to be the rule of law or not? And the thing I love about Massey, he's an engineer. And if you talk with him or listen to him about a wide range of subjects, starting with food and agriculture, he is ruthlessly focused on what is productive, on what makes economic sense. And what he knows is that the centralization of control is destroying productivity. It's destroying wealth. Mm-hmm. And he knows that, whether it's family wealth or community wealth, you cannot have a civilization. You cannot have a civilization if you have a society that is this enormously destructive of individual sovereignty and individual and family wealth. And so he's literally, if you look in all these different areas, he's just constantly moving out, making, trying to do what makes sense. And his understanding, because he's been an entrepreneur and a small businessman and a farmer and a rancher, he understands the economics bottom up. One of my favorite Thomas Massey stories I heard on your show, which was an amazing interview. I always make young people watch at least the second half of your interview with Massey.
The off-grid part.
Yeah, when he's talking about how he figures, he's the county mayor, essentially, and he busts the prisoners out of the jail to help him install a new hot water heater because they can't afford to buy, they have to buy a used one. They can't afford to buy a new one. Okay, so that's,
or something like that.
That's exactly the story. That's a building well story.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's
So I'm going to just skip here to this this one more part that I want you to hear. And so she's going to talk about how innovation is going so fast and we can't predict it. And then Tucker is going to ask her a question and her answer is going to blow your mind. So just hang on.
Who got pushed out because they wouldn't break the law and they wouldn't do stupid things, and they got pushed out, and you just got yes men, yes men, yes men. And now you've got something that has it doesn't have a culture that can handle the voltage.
So
you're right.
I feel like you see this even now. I noticed this during the trans thing. I felt like our leaders were pushing the transgender lunacy on everybody.
Right.
But then I noticed that their own children, probably in higher proportion, were also falling prey to it. Same with drugs.
Right.
They push drugs on the population, but their kids OD too.
Right.
So it's like, they kind of believe these lies. It's not just an effort to genocide the population, which it is as well.
Well, because you're not talking about the top guys. You're talking about the sort of the middle, the implementers. Mm-hmm. Right. So yeah, they're in the trance too. And everybody's thinking they're a genius, because they're...
Where does this go over the next 10 years?
They're in a trance, not in a trance.
You know something? We are in a very interesting position. I said it to the Solari team at the beginning of the year. Our motto for this year is rock and roll, because the disruption is not only so chaotic and unpredictable, it's impossible to predict it, because you're talking when you have, if you go back and you look at when information technology innovates dramatically, like, the telephone or the telegraph, what happens is you not only dramatically improve or speed up the innovation in each area, but the connections and integration between areas in ways that, it's beyond our...
You couldn't anticipate.
You can't anticipate. You can't predict it. And so if you look at the speed of change, but I think if you look at every group I watch, geopolitically or financially, events are going to outrun us all and they're going to surprise us all. And so we're going into an out of control situation. Now, the people who run, in my experience, the people who run the financial system always have a plan B, C, D, and have thought things ahead. How they're going to manage this, I don't know.
So how does the average person respond to it?
Here we go. Ready?
With faith.
Watch this.
Faith.
Yeah.
Watch this.
Faith in.
Faith. So I believe, so I told you I was going to give you some homework. So here's my.
I welcome it.
Here's my favorite new book. It's called, we're just about to publish an amazing interview with the author. It's called A New Science of Heaven by Robert Temple.
Okay.
And it's about plasma. Our annual wrap-up is, and we'll send you a copy, is on plasma.
I'm writing it down.
Okay. Now, 99% of the universe is made up of plasma. And if you go back...
I'll confess I have no idea what plasma is.
Don't ask me to explain it.
Well, it's about 90% of the universe.
99%
99% of the universe.
And if you go back and listen to people like David Bohm, the great physicist, they would sort of intimate this. But Temple, Dr. Robert Temple, has now written a book that really goes through all the science of it. And what Temple says is that plasma is alive and intelligent. Okay, which brings all new meaning to the notion of he lives. What he's saying is the universe is alive and intelligent. Now, throughout my history, and it's...
I feel that, don't you?
It is true. I'm sure it's true. It's, yeah. The universe is alive. The universe is intelligent. You know, whether it's the plants, the animals, the people,
yes.
We share intelligence. And it's not through our brain, it's through our whole body, through our energy, everything. So anyway, but the new science of heaven is really about...
If I don't praise him, the rocks will cry out, which means they're made of this plasma and they're alive because he lives. Because when God spoke into the universe, Jesus is creation. So all creation cries out Jesus, because every rock, every tree, everything else is Jesus. It is a representation. Here's the thing, Michelle, nothing was created but by him. So it is of him.
And in him.
And in him.
All things have their being.
That's why he's omniscient. That's why he's everywhere, because everything is God.
Amen.
Everything is God. It's not like God's over here and the world's over here or the universe is over here.
Yeah.
Guys, when you grasp that he's the creator, like, and everything is his, it puts everything into a really, if you're a Christian, that's going to calm you down.
Yeah.
Okay. Because God's not somewhere separated or anything. I'm touching this. Even this is made up. Anything that I touch, anything that I come in contact with is the essence of God, because there's nothing created that wasn't created by him. Which means there's when we say created by him, it's literally, I'm taking this from me and it's me. It is me, right?
About plasma and how it's alive and intelligent. Now, what I'm going to tell you, I don't care how much programmable money you have, how many biometrics you have, how many digital IDs you have, how many drones. You know, DOD is going to buy 1 million drones a year. How many drones you have flying overhead. I don't care. There's no way you can control the entire universe. Do you know what I mean? And if you understand what Temple and Bohm and these guys are saying about how the universe works, it's out of control. Now, what you can do is you can interact with it with love and intention and integrity, you know, but it's out of control. And I absolutely believe that. And that's why I think this whole digital control model is going to fail. I just want to make sure.
You're just describing the Tower of Babel. You're describing like the limits of human power and foresight.
And technology. It just, if you understand life, the whole thing is nuts. Now, if you look at the leadership, I can absolutely, because they're hyper-materialists, I can absolutely believe that they would think they can control it. And I can understand as risk managers why you might want to.
What's a hyper-materialist?
A hyper-materialist is somebody, so if you and I were going to make a taxonomy of all knowledge in our world, there is knowledge that relates to things that we can see. So this table or this wall or this painting, you know, it's real. We can see it. It's concrete. Okay. So there's a material world. But then there's a whole world that's invisible, either because it's spiritual or it may be material, but it's like the Wi-Fi in the room. We can't see it. So there's a whole part of our reality, whether it's what I call the morphogenic field, so shared intelligence, or your energetic body or my energetic body, or you know, or the Wi-Fi in the room, whether it's material or spiritual, there's a whole world that's invisible. And what you see in sort of in the American culture in my lifetime is people become more and more focused on what they can see that's material. The only invisible thing they relate to is money. You know, money is an invisible, finance is an invisible.
So money is their God.
Only a hyper-materialist could allow money to become their God, because if you understand.
But if it's the only invisible thing you believe in,
right,
it's your God.
But they don't know, they literally don't know how intelligence works and how power works in the universe. They are completely ignorant of the real power lines because they can't see the invisible. It's phenomenal. It's like walking around so imagine an orchestra trying to play music and everybody's in the dark and nobody can see the score. That's what, and that's why it sounds like that.
That's why it's so discordant.
Yeah. It's just completely, and
it's like, stop it with the kettle drum.
Right.
It's time for the strings.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have, so we're very excited because we're doing this program called the Young Builders. It's one of the reasons I'm in Florida.
You can stop that there.
And
I highly recommend that you watch that one for your soul more than Candace Owens, which was highly entertaining. And Jessica Franz from one part Swede to another. We got your number. We could see right through you because you're one of us.
Oh my gosh, you scared the dogs.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Like seriously, her whole history is like very similar to ours, and I'm just like, wow, okay, I know you, girl. That's why I can catch you. That's why I can see a Franz fraud when I see her. Okay, you're a fake Swede, girlfriend. Far away from the truth is what you are. Okay, you need mo far.
Oh my gosh, Leah.
You need to be mo truthful is what you need. All right, so we can read some comments. I got little tiny stories. Those are my big stories for tonight. I wanted to end on like a really positive note. It was so exciting for me. Planting seeds. Patriot Gallery is like, you
literally are planting seeds.
Yeah,
because we were
I
just
got a
talking about
greenhouse
that.
upstairs. So excited! I'll make a video for you guys. It's literally my happiest place I've been in a very long time. I've got the greenhouse. We're planting seeds, getting them started. I'm just so excited about that. But I'm listening to Catherine Austin Fitz with Tucker, and she's filling my soul. I love this woman because she just speaks like truth. We're in a very chaotic time when there's not a lot of people to listen to and garner, maybe a good take on things from.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I listen to Catherine Austin Fitz, not only does she have a grasp on all the things, whether it's finance, digital currency, the Epstein files, growing your own food, like she's one of us. She works with the Children's Defense Fund with Polly Thomas over there. I love these people, Tommy over there. So we love all that. But then she's also a woman who is a Christian. And when you put in that kind of metaphysics idea of the universe, and then what she was saying, if you didn't catch it, was we're at a very unstable time when there are a lot of different technological advances trying to be the next internet, telephone, plow, whatever, wheel for the Indians. No offense.
Whatever the
next thing is,
innovation is.
You can tell and you can feel that there's a fight in the universe, that will not allow the next new thing to advance us. That because it's being done in the dark, and because so many people are not able to connect with the spiritual, even Thomas Edison creating the light bulb, was it the light bulb? Who did the telephone? Alexander Graham Bell. A lot of these guys with these big inventions were kind of into the spirit realm, even negative spirit realm.
Oh yeah, sure.
So like witchcraft with Jack Parsons and the rocket fuel to space.
The hymn to Pan.
I would say Elon Musk's is definitely spiritually attuned to the dark side.
Yeah.
So these things have to be spiritually attuned, but if you're just kind of ultra materialistic, like she said, you're not going to actually get your thing off the ground.
Yeah.
And there is a spiritual movement of people who want to go back to the land.
Yeah.
And so that energy, and we're not going to be cultic about it. I'm just going to tell you, like she said, I'm sitting next to you. If I get close to you, I can feel that you're closer to me. You can turn off all the lights. And if you walk close to a dog or a human being, you can feel them. We all have an energy about us. Okay. So if we are connected to the divine, which is God, and then into the universe, which is, the rocks cry out, all creation is groaning. These are scriptures.
Yeah.
That's an energy force of creation groaning for the manifestation of the sons of God.
Come on.
Okay.
Preach it.
So when it's just like that Trees movie with Mark Wahlberg. Okay.
Yeah.
I hate that movie So scary, right? But if the trees began to work with you, if the universe began to work with you, you're working, and you begin to think not that the universe is working with you, but then the God is working with you to go back to the land.
That's good.
And there's a force. So there's every time somebody just plants a seed, you're going to go back to that. I'll end with this. Somebody posted and said it's somebody posted a video of somebody on an ATV, and somebody was riding a horse, and they're on a ranch, and they're like, and there are all these kids, and they said, this is what people are going to get back to. And somebody said, that is a really expensive thing to do. I mean, you've got a $10,000 ATV, you've got $80,000 worth of livestock around you. You've got all these, there's a money barrier, especially right now.
Sure.
To get into growing food and doing things like that.
Yeah.
And so this particular person came and said, I'm talking about, I said, start where you can.
Yeah.
I said, we're on an acre. We grow half of our food. We got pigs and chickens and grow stuff. And he's like, well, it's really hard to get into ranching. It's, I said, so listen, I thought that the video meant people are getting back to the land, not that everybody's going to start a big ranch.
Yeah.
Okay. And I said, yes, it's very cost prohibitive to get into ranching. I said, because that's my family's dream. Like that's everybody around in my group of people wants cows, horses, and a sheep ranch with sheepdogs. Okay. So we are, it's so cost prohibitive. We haven't done it yet. So I understand that like the average person can't.
Right.
However, when you begin to work with God and creation, I believe creation begins to work with you and unleashes things in your favor or in whatever plan that God has for you.
So I saw something, you guys may have seen this. I didn't watch, I only saw like a interview of somebody interviewing this guy. I hope we didn't play this on our show. It was this, did we play the millionaire thing? Was that us?
No.
Okay, I just saw it by myself. There's this guy that he's like a billionaire and he's created multiple businesses. Okay. So what they did, and this was like 5 years ago around the time of COVID, 2020, is they did like a film on him where they gave him $100. Now he supposedly went undercover and did this without any of his connections, right?
Yeah.
And he took the $100 and worked his way up to a multi-million dollar
I've
company.
seen. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And essentially the guy comes out and he says, it's not about what you have access to. It's knowing how to create wealth and acquire wealth and do all these things. Here's the deal, guys. I want to give you some encouragement.
Yeah.
In case no one has told you this, that as a Christian, that's not our goal. Our goal is not to acquire things.
Exactly.
And acquire wealth. I can't speak for you guys because you may not be in this boat, but I live in it. Leah maybe not so much, but for real. I only want to get back to the land because I know that God wants me to get back to the land. I'm not by nature, I'm becoming this, right? Because I'm becoming renewed. I'm becoming someone who, and I have been becoming for 20 years, someone who really genuinely wants to just get back to the land. Right. And so
that's funny.
It's not like I can say, was originally, I guess is the best way to say, because it is now.
Okay.
It is now my heart's desire, but it didn't start that way.
Okay.
It did not start out as my heart's desire.
Okay.
To do, Leah can tell you, I am the princess of clean. Okay. I like my shoes to be white.
Yeah.
I like to dress nice. Okay. I am not like, I really like the days where I get to just wear an outfit all day long that doesn't have to get covered in dog stuff and dirt.
I understand you.
Okay. But that aside, I want to live this life because God has been transforming my heart's desire to make it my heart's desire. So keep in mind, guys, that I believe truly that any of you that want land, that want to raise pigs or chickens or cows or horses or grow your own food and have a beehive and a vineyard and like all the things, right? I truly believe that you want that because you know that's what God wants for you.
Okay.
And there's a rest in that because I want to do it out of obedience because I know that it's what God wants for me. Okay. And so when you feel like you don't have something that you want, it's very painful.
Yeah.
Very, very painful. But when you feel like you don't have something that you know God wants to have for you, then you can seek after it in a much different way.
Yeah.
Like, God, I know that you want this for me. I know that this is the call that you have for my life. And so I thank you because the Bible says that you have not because you ask not, and you have not because you ask amiss so that you might consume it upon your own lust. But it also says that when you ask anything according to his will, you know that you have the thing that you ask. And so I would encourage you guys that, let me just tell you this, God wants you to have that land. God wants you to raise those animals. And so it's not, the onus isn't on you to do something that you want, because a lot of us want a lot of things that you can't make happen.
Yeah.
But when you seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, then all of these things will be added unto you. So as we shift our desires to God, I just want to obey you. God, I just want to seek your kingdom. I want to seek your righteousness. I want you to put me before people that I can minister to and I can spread the gospel to and I can spread truth to. When you do all of that, then all of these other things, because the Bible says that God knows that you need these things. And anybody
really
that has given up father and mothers and sisters and lands and houses in this life, you will receive them in this life and in the life to come.
Okay. No, that's so good. I got like 3 or 4 stories. I'm looking at the time. Should I go over them or not?
I don't care.
Okay. No, that's so good. Like, you keep preaching. So I'm like looking at the rest of my stories. I'm like, should I go over them or not? Because that's the most important thing, that message, because people, I feel that all the time.
God will get it to you.
I feel that message.
Seek first his kingdom and his righteousness. Don't be like them, because here's the deal. I'm going to tell you, I will say this, and this is super important. Then you can get to like 1 or 2 of your stories. Guys, you could make it happen.
You could.
You want to tell me that you couldn't? I'm sorry, that's a lie. Any of us, you said we don't, that's not true. Leah, I wanted to correct you when you said it, but now I'm really going to correct you. Guys, I could have the ranch. I could have the land. I could have the horses. I could have the cows. I could have the whole daggum 9 yards. I know how to do it. I know how to be successful. You do too. I've been busy seeking first his kingdom and his righteousness. And then what God wants for me, that's all I want. That's all I want.
Because it comes with other things. Like, you can't just get the one thing.
Right. Because in order to just go out and get it, you got to sacrifice a part of your soul and become less human.
You can't have everything that you want.
Right. Exactly.
You can't
but you can have all those things.
I want to be a good Christian, and I want to do these things.
Exactly. And so you see it. You see these big name ministers. They seem to have it all. They're missing their souls.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you can't have it all. Go ahead.
All right. A couple of good news stories. The Kansas House has overridden governor. They have a Democrat governor who vetoed their transgender bathroom ban, and so they overrode it.
Developing out of Topeka tonight, the Kansas House overrides Kansas Governor Laura Kelly's veto of the bathroom bill. It requires the use of government building bathrooms based on your gender at birth.
It also requires driver's licenses and birth certificates to show your birth gender. And it becomes law following the Senate's veto override yesterday. Fox 4's Jonathan Ketz with reaction from both sides of the aisle in Topeka.
The bill also requires a person's driver's license and their birth certificate to be the sex that person was assigned at birth.
Is hereby declared passed.
That's Republican House Speaker Dan Hawkins right before the clerk recorded the vote. Once session recessed, a few Metro residents held up phones and iPads saying shame on the legislature as they walked out of the chamber.
Every time you take out your driver's license, you're outing yourself as a trans person. And that is an extremely dangerous thing to do because trans people are subject to great violence.
After Modi Reber said that, we talked to Republican House Rep Susan Humphreys. This bill went through her Judiciary Committee. She says everyone's views on this issue are important.
But that includes women who don't feel safe in restrooms with men. So, we have to look at everybody's safety interests, what their concerns and cares are.
The bill only requires people to use the bathroom of their sex at birth in government buildings, but people will be able to file a complaint if they see a transgender person using a restroom that doesn't assign with their sex at birth. The penalty could carry up to a $1,000 fine. Michael Popa says this bill could be dangerous.
Can you imagine a trans man walking into a woman's restroom, a transgender woman walking into a men's restroom because the legislature says that is the restroom that they need to use, or someone not being allowed into a pool? Someone's going to get hurt.
Democratic Representative Heather Meyer was seen crying after the vote. She opposed it. We asked Kansas Family Voice President Brittany Jones the same question we asked Humphreys, whether this bill outs somebody who is transgender.
This bill is not intended to make anyone feel unsafe. It is intended, and it does provide privacy and protection.
The bill could go into effect late next week. Jonathan.
Well, good for you. Thank you, Kansas, for being, oh my gosh, you have to use the bathroom that the gender that you're assigned. I'm not playing this.
Why are we so concerned? Here's the deal. 100% of this is to make men be able to go into women's restrooms. It's not so that women can go into the man's restroom. Because the woman does not need to go into the man's restroom that identifies as a man or whatever, because she doesn't need the urinal. Okay?
And no man is going to care if somebody who kind of looks like a dude goes into the bathroom. It's only women who care.
Exactly. And so why is it that we are more concerned about men who dress as women
That's exactly
and their
the only
feelings
thing.
versus all other women who do not feel safe? I'm going to tell you this. I can't, except for lefty crazy weirdos, all women do not feel safe in a restroom where there's a man.
Right. Okay, so then families here in Maryland have received a $1.5 million after the Supreme Court victory over the LGBT storytelling. A Maryland school district that lost a recent U.S. Supreme Court case will pay $1.5 million to parents who weren't allowed to opt their kids out of LGBT storytime.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the Beckett Fund for Religious Liberty, which represented the plaintiffs at the landmark Muhammad versus Taylor case, announced the settlement February 20th. The defendant, the Montgomery County Board of Education, which oversees Montgomery County Public Schools, the largest school district in the state, was also ordered to comply with court orders mandating advance notice and opt-out provisions. Public schools nationwide are on notice. Running roughshod over parents' rights and religious freedom isn't just illegal, it's costly. Yes, it is. This settlement enforces a Supreme Court ruling that ensures parents, not government bureaucrats, have the final say. The case dates back to 2022, where after a group of Christian, Muslim, and Jewish parents told the Board of Education that for religious reasons, they wanted to remove their elementary school children from book readings about same-sex romances between young children, transgender transitions, and pride parades. The parents were denied the permission. The Supreme Court majority opinion was written by Justice Samuel Alito, stated that the government cannot condition the benefit of free public education on parents' acceptance of instructions that threaten the religious beliefs. It took a tremendous courage for these parents to stand up. So, jeez, could you even imagine?
No, that's awesome.
So, lastly, with a few commercial breaks. So this girl, young lady, went to a college campus and asked people what they thought about the State of the Union before it had happened.
College kids are telling us Trump's State of the Union didn't go so well. The only problem, it's tomorrow. Rate Trump's State of the Union speech 1 out of 10. 1's the worst, 10's the best. Negatives. And why? I think we all know a lot of reasons. Yeah. What about the State of the Union last night? 1 to 10.
It was like a 1 or 2. I mean, it was all over the place.
Probably just give it a 0 overall. Gonna give it a 1. And why do you say 1?
I don't think he's very articulate.
How did Trump do at the State of the Union?
0. I'm gonna be real, I didn't watch it.
I didn't really watch it much. I watched it for a little bit, but turned it off.
The State of the Union last night. How was that 1 to 10?
No, it was last night. I thought it was tomorrow.
No, you're good. You passed the test. Good job. College kids are
That's awesome.
They just lied through their teeth because
Oh my gosh.
Next. Okay, this one was so funny. When adults just find it whimsical to, whimsy in everyday life. Ready?
Okay, I gotta turn this down because I'm gonna let it play a couple times. Oh,
that's so funny. Boom.
Okay, so for the podcast listeners, we have air traffic control, or not control. What do you call these guys that work on the ground around the airplanes? I know they have a name. I'm so sorry. But I love the caption here that says, in case you're wondering why your flight was delayed. They're spinning in circles until they fall down on the ice. And then the other guy just goes down too. And I think that that's the greatest. That was really
now
fun.
this was adorable, but it's really weird. On a scale of weird, what do you think?
This it says every night my grandfather cuts an orange core for my grandmother out of the orange peels, and she saves them in the shape of a heart.
It's awesome. Oh my gosh. That's adorable. Actually.
Okay. Now, this person says, I found the holy grail of best content ever. She's a homesteader, and it's just, this is funny.
Well, green right now. The tomatoes are coming in on overload, of course. Some people can't handle that. They just want to see me farming all day because farming's so great. What happens when I lose the farm because of the real ID, which I'm not getting? What happens then? You still want to see farming because you're not going to see any farming. Yeah, I thought I'd bring up a little bit about pink curing salt because all you are doing with pink curing salt is retaining the pink. Is there a purpose for that? Do your eyes need to see it pink to make it delicious? Stop it. That shit is killing you.
Sorry.
Okay? That is stomach cancer is what that delicious pink curing salt, which is nitrates, is doing to you. This is Tracy. Hi, honey. She's a little scared on camera. Tracy was given to me for $30 when she was about 30 pounds. I didn't want her, but someone wanted to get rid of her, and I paid. Okay. All right, honey. Anyway, this is Tina and Tammy, too, stealing the show. But I want to talk about cute little Tracy here because all three of these were actually, I got them for dinner. Oreo. What? So this big old guy here, his name's Oreo. Yeah, the flies suck right now, guys. It's like 90, you know, it doesn't ever stop. But anyway, that right here, this is where Tank decided to squirt his creamy body over my fence. Maybe someone wants to be choked out for sex. There's nothing normal about that, okay? You put it into whatever club and acronym you want to call it. There is nothing normal about that.
Oh my gosh.
The devil loves sex, do you hear me? Okay? Uses it as a tool. Jesus, the only two people not on the list, I think, are Ray and I. Every other person's on the list. We're running a clown show. Our government's a clown show, and if you think that you've got someone that you're voting for that's on your side, then you're in the clown show, because I'm here to tell you that, look, you don't have to listen to anybody, but I can assure you there's no one on your side. If you're feeling what we're all feeling, I'm going to tell you this is not getting better, and I'm not trying to be negative. What I'm saying
Hang
is...
on, she says, should I turn the volume down?
No.
Well, it says
I
this
think she's
topic
talking
might
about
be
the
sensitive.
Epstein things.
If you have kids, well, it's good. If we have viewers that have kids around,
right?
Now might not be a good time to have your kids around.
Okay.
I'm giving them a chance.
Okay.
Since they kindly did.
It's out. There's no putting it back in the box. So how do we go about our lives? Because what is God's promise is to focus on him. Why does he say that? Because what happens when you focus on Epstein? Well, you're going to take a gun and blow your brains out. I think we're going to do a walkthrough in the garden. Ray and I were just bitching about the endless spraying we have going on, that it's 90 or something. Guys, we're going to go check on Guillermo. I've got some castor oil, turpentine, concoction. 24 hours ago, he almost died of pneumonia. How we doing, Guillermo? All right. Okay, so first thing we look at with a patient with pneumonia is his breathing. And he loves to block the door, huh, buddy?
Poor Guillermo.
How we
He looks
doing,
like the size of
Guillermo?
our Coonies, bigger.
So,
Or should I just stay here?
You can stay right there. First thing I do is I'm feeling for his fever.
It's a giant pig.
So he was down last night and he could not get up. His panting was shallow and he couldn't breathe at all. Once he starts coughing, you're going to see he's very ill. But what we're doing is about every 4 hours, we're doing 2 tablespoons of turpentine, 2 tablespoons of castor oil, aren't we? Give me a kiss. To help out those of you that have never been experienced raw milk in any which way, you're maybe even a little scared because it has to have a warning. Remember, guys? So in California, it's not for human consumption. That's very terrifying to people. They don't understand why would this delicious milk say not for human consumption. Why would it say for pet use only? I certainly don't want to drink it now. Well, folks, I want you to understand that's just how it has to work in California. So we have to, by law, any raw milk, put that warning on there because it's illegal to sell raw milk for human consumption. Now, that being said, all of us with cows, we're not milking our cows out for the dogs, okay, guys? I don't go out there to Clarabelle just to milk 3 gallons every session for dogs. I'm doing it because I consume this milk. Actually, right now, I'm doing a dairy fast. Oh my God, I drank a gallon of her milk yesterday. Now, be careful. I did have to poop a few times, okay? Let's go down my favorite side, the side that doesn't help us. So we've got radiation, right? Look at our power lines. Yeah, they're everywhere. We've got cell towers. Well, they're not cell towers. We know they're not because they're actually not called cell towers when you look up all the information on the internet. They're actually mass weapons of destruction.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. What's the name of her channel?
I don't know.
Because it says everybody needs to watch her, but like, who is she?
And the last one is when you want to just fit in.
Oh, I've seen this. I watched this yesterday. I thought I sent it to you. Did I send this to you?
All this goofy camel wanted was to make friends, but when he first arrived at his farm, the horses took one look at him and ran for the hills. But luckily, his persistence paid off. Before Shammy the camel arrived at L'Amazing Adventures in New Brunswick, he'd been part of a traveling petting zoo and he was used to lots of attention, but he never exactly had the chance to master animal social etiquette. So when he finally moved into his forever home and came barreling toward the horses like a golden retriever on espresso, they were understandably a little alarmed, but Shammy, who doesn't seem to realize that he's different at all, kept trying. And eventually, the horses realized he wasn't a monster, just a silly giant with a lot of enthusiasm. These days, Shammy is a fully accepted member of the herd, and he's officially appointed himself as the herd's chief mischief officer. He's been known to let his llama friends out on unauthorized adventures, leading them on hikes around the property, and then pretending he had nothing to do with it. When he's not spending time pestering his best friend, Toledo the horse, he's usually off on his own doing camel zoomies, especially during the winter, his favorite season. Shammy now gets to live the rest of his life where his big personality isn't just tolerated, it's actually celebrated. I'm Jen, and I post something positive.
Okay, that was so good.
That's your show.
I love that. I said that to Leah yesterday, even though she got it somewhere else. I just love that stories like that are going around. Speaking of great news, we just did this whole show with 0 dropped frames.
0 dropped frames.
0 dropped frames.
We did 9. We broadcast to 9 places.
And we
didn't
have
have to
them
stop
dropped.
anybody. We have to stop somebody usually.
Now, exactly. And here's the other thing. At the beginning, we had some audio issues, but that was just because this is all brand new and I don't have all the settings right yet.
Yeah.
So I switched the settings. We're good to go. That won't happen again. It shouldn't happen again, right?
So what did it feel like for you?
There were several times where I literally decided to just try to take it in, and I wanted to cry.
What did it feel like differently than the other shows?
Just peaceful.
Just like normal? Like, because you're
There's
normally
no normal.
uptight. Aren't you normally uptight?
Yeah. I don't have to worry about it.
Like, is your cortisol level, like, was it like down to...
It's 0. I don't have to
you
worry
normally
about
do.
the stream. Like, I'm the whole show. You have no idea.
Did we bring up things faster? Like
oh
the
yeah, like
links
way
and all this
faster.
stuff?
Yeah. Like, and there's a bunch
we
of little
glitch,
stuff,
guys. At
we
all?
didn't. No, there's 0 way we glitched. We had
there's no
0 dropped frames. Nobody, your favorite podcaster, does not have the computer that we have. Maybe Tucker. Maybe Candace.
No, because they probably have one from a year or 2 ago.
Well, exactly. This is literally, we have the fastest hard drive in the world that they make.
Nick said that it's faster than his, and because he just built his last year.
Okay. Like, so here's what I was thinking. I'm going to be straight up honest with you guys. While we were doing the show, and I'm like just praising God, and I'm just thinking to myself, how can we now take advantage of this in areas that we haven't?
We're going to the moon.
I want to offer you guys more guests.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Okay.
Because now we can have them on.
Because now I can have them on live. I can have them on. I don't know that we're going to do this just yet, but I totally can very easily, just with a little bit of extra effort and show prep. I can have them on for 30 minutes on a Friday show. Like Pete Santilli does a show, and then he has a variety show, and he keeps guests, and he'll have like 2 or 3 guests on a show, which we used to do Pete's show all the time.
We couldn't do that because of our system.
We could not do that because of our system. We actually used to be able to do it with our old system that I'm pointing to way back there. We had that computer for 5 years. We were able to do that for the first 3 or 4 years. And then, I don't know if you guys remember, 2 years ago, roughly, give or take, the whole stream would just crash and shut down. The whole computer, like XSplit, would just die. And so because that kept happening.
Somebody helped to donate for a computer. I think it was Anne.
I don't know who it was. It doesn't matter. We were very, very grateful. Thank you. But there was no way that we could get
I got the wrong computer.
And it didn't have a graphics card. That was error number 1. You thought that it did, not your fault.
I really did.
You kept telling me, Michelle, you don't understand it does.
People were saying this is a great computer, but I wasn't reading like podcaster reviews. It's a good computer for...
I'm praying about and I'm thinking about... I'm sorry, I just cut you off. It's a good computer for being a computer.
Everyday tasks.
Sure. It's a great computer. Yeah, it's a really good, solid computer. We're still going to we got to figure out what we can do with it. We're going to wipe it and donate it to somebody or whatever. But honestly, I was thinking, I wonder if there are other platforms that we can stream to that we would be new to, that maybe are very big in the alternative movement, but we haven't. Not just HugeTube. Do you remember the one that was very dark? What was that one called that they tried to get us on? We could go back to DLive. I don't know that there's, I was thinking if we went somewhere fresh, we might get really fresh eyes on it. I don't know. These are just things that I was thinking, like, I bet because now I can live stream to as many platforms as I want. Literally, there's no limit.
A lot of nostalgic on DLive because we were DLive for like a year, 2 years.
That's where everybody was. And then they all moved and we didn't gain any new people over there. I tried for a little while going back to DLive and we got like maybe 10 people over there.
Okay.
But my thinking is, you know what? I bet there are other places. If you guys know of them, by all means. Okay, so we could try going back to Twitch. We have a Twitch account. We stopped streaming to Twitch because we weren't getting that many views over there. I'm happy to give it a try. I know it's still very big. My friend Horatio in the UK watches Twitch. That's like that and YouTube are his exclusive platforms. So we can try. So I'm thinking about all these things. We had to really pare down the platforms that we stream to. We normally do stream to about 7 platforms. We're streaming to 3 new platforms tonight because I couldn't get Faith and Freedom TV's stuff plugged in time, or we would be streaming to 10 platforms. Now, from a prepping standpoint, I'm trying out. I want to do a huge shout out to BitChute, and I want to do a shout out to Brighteon. I would love it if you guys would tell me, even in the comments or in an email, if you're watching us on one of these new platforms, if you would like us to keep streaming there, let me know, and we will keep streaming there.
BitChute streaming is kind of new, isn't it?
It was we did it for a while there.
Did we do?
But I had because of the issues that we had, we were just the Pinto was not pulling the cattle trailer, so we had to throw cows off, man.
So were you uploading to BitChute or just done?
I've always been uploading to BitChute.
So now you don't have to.
No, I don't. As a matter of fact, I was able to take. I always on resistancechicks.com. If you guys are not following our webpage, please do. Every show gets 3 embeds: Rumble, the After BitChute, and Podbean. And now I was able to go ahead and put that embed. So if you go to resistancechicks.com right now on today's show, there will be 2 lives that are running, Rumble and BitChute. You can just watch us straight from resistancechicks.com. 2 options, whether you want to watch us live from BitChute or live from Rumble, both will be running right now. And so that's really cool. So there's a lot more that we can
save you a little time, like, because you don't have to upload to Brighteon either.
It's not going to save me time because I'm doing it on the front end. You can't cut the end off of the blanket. You know what I mean? But it's the same amount of time. It's just before the show instead of after the show. So yes, I will not have to upload to BitChute or Brighteon afterwards.
Nick.
So
thanks, Deborah.
Guys, we do not have words to describe how amazing this feels. If there is anything that you guys would like us,
we've got a new audio system.
And thank you to the Cantrells. The Rode system is new. The only thing that's left, and we are going to take care of that, is the monitor is still glitching like it was that one time,
but not bad.
It's not bad, but Matt was looking on BitFTA for me for a wider monitor, which will make our stream a lot more streamlined. So Samuel says, I saw your computer and that Ryzen 9 is a fast chip and your video card is solid. My son would be drooling for his gaming PC.
Well, yes, because he brought up a test gaming thing. And oh my gosh, it made me almost want to be a gamer. Just kidding. Not really, but yeah.
So Samuel says, try Whatnot and sell your goods on it. Social selling there is fire, according to Gary Vee. I'll try to remember that. I don't have a pen to write it down. I should. I don't know where it's at. But Whatnot. Leah will look it up for me. If all you want is his kingdom first and his righteousness, you already have it all. Everything else is just mammon to be used to win and serve others. Thank you, Samuel. That is so, so beautiful. You are amazing. Thank you for that. So yeah, so these are things that will change as we go forward. Zonti has been going live on Twitch lately. I don't know who that is. You'll have to tell me. Ohio Creation says, very cool improvement of technology. So I will definitely, it's not hard for me to get back on Twitch. We'll do that Sunday. We'll be live on Twitch on Sunday. So the only other announcement that I have for you guys is Monday night. We're going to have Corey Gray on. You are so, speaking of tech and speaking of all the things, you guys are going to love having Corey back on. So please put that on your calendar. It will air Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are so excited to have Corey back in on Resistance Chicks. And hopefully, as our schedules allow, which unfortunately he does church on Wednesday. So I'm not sure. I was hoping that we'd be able to get Corey on for more Revelation Red Pill Wednesdays. So those would have to be pre-records because he has church on Wednesdays, which stinks. But there might be other people that will get on for some live Revelation Red Pills. And there's a couple of people that I really want to reach out to for having on Healing for the Fractured Soul. One of our viewers, as a matter of fact, I think we got her book, or we're ordering her book.
Yeah, we want to get her on our show.
Kimberly says, are the neck wraps at the store yet? No, but they are all done. I finished them all. I just have to take a picture and throw them up there. Hopefully I can have that done by on Tuesday of next week. I know I'd said this week, but there was a lot going on, but we randomly, Nick was like, hey, can I come in and install the computer? So then we
had a night of worship.
Oh, it was so good. You guys don't even know.
So awesome.
Abigail and her brother and her sister and her dad. Amazing. We prayed and prayed. We brought down, Abigail played her guitar and we prayed worship, and it was just amazing. It was one of the most phenomenal nights that we've had in a very long time. Very cup filling.
Yeah.
The whole thing has just been so overwhelming. Yeah. So thank you guys for being so supportive in your prayers. Because I believe truly that you guys prayed these things into being. Chris says that he's a young Christian musician. Well, wouldn't it be fun to get him on our show? That would be fun. All right, you guys. So we are going to sign off. Don't forget that the almanacs are available on the store. Shop.resistancechicks.com. I really hate to say this because you're going to start thinking I'm doing this on purpose. I have not had time to take that promo code down. So it's still there. Love 2026 is still up there. So you can feel free to use it until I get the chance to get, this is how much we've got going on.
We're going to see Sean and Condi tomorrow, birthday.
Oh, that's right. So Shauna's birthday's on. Oh.
Is it today?
No, it's on Sunday. So we'll wish her happy birthday on Sunday. You can wish her pre-happy birthday now. We're wanting to see, there it goes flashing again. I did nothing. That's the monitor. We're going out to dinner with them tomorrow. So early happy birthday to Shauna.
But if you want to go to our neighbor's house.
Our neighbors are having, if you want to go.
Bring it up?
With,
no? Okay.
No, I don't even know where it's at. But if you want the information, just shoot me an email.
If you like to go see Lisa Schwartz.
At a revival, 2 houses down from us.
In Milford, Ohio. You can go to Lisa Schwartz TikTok or something.
Yeah, exactly. We're not going to be able to go.
If you want information on where it is, email us at massfaith33
exactly. That does not mean you'll be able to stop by my house.
Or message us on Facebook. I'll help you get there.
We hook you up. So that's tomorrow. But
she's a revivalist who prays for people. It's great.
Yeah, if you want to touch and a move from God, by all means, Shauna and Condi will be there. So speaking of birthdays, Leah hates it when I do this, and I'm so sorry.
That's great. I have to take the dogs out.
Leah's birthday is coming up. So if you would like to send her a birthday card, you totally can, to P.O. Box 107, Milford, Ohio, 45150. Her birthday is March 11th. She is turning 25 years old. And that's, if you want to believe that, by all means do. And so we're wishing Leah a happy birthday. If you want to send a card, that is P.O. Box 107, Milford, Ohio, 45150 for her birthday on March 11th. So March is a good month for birthdays. Patriot Gallery's birthdays this month. Whoa, that was a powerful, or you turned the light off. Matt's birthday is this month. The Kansas Cowboys' birthday is this month. Shauna's birthday is this month. I'm sure there's others of you. Feel free. And I always would love to know if it's your birthday. If you guys want me to do a shout out for you for your birthday, dude, let me know. I want to. Let me rephrase that. I would love to do shout outs for your birthdays. If you would feel free to let me know when your birthday is. And since we're coming on the head of the month, let's say on... we'll do it next Friday. We'll do our monthly giveaway next Friday. So please send me your email. Send me an email at massfaith33@gmail.com with your address and which collection you would like to win if you win the men's or the women's collection, and we'll do a giveaway on Friday. So send that email to massfaith33@gmail.com. The reason why I ask you to send me your address is so that when you win, I already have all of your information. I can just send it out. Like Angie didn't even know that she won the calendar last month, and I sent it to her, and she sent me an email, and she's like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that I won this. But I knew she won. So, and she had already sent her address. So off the calendar went. All right, you guys. We love you guys. It's on her website. Okay. She's a Christian. Awesome. We love you guys. God loves you. God bless. Remember, it's not just a conspiracy theory. If it's actually the truth, we will see you on Sunday for our World News program at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Monday night, Corey Gray is going to be in the house for our Outliers program. Tuesday night's Healing for the Fractured Soul. Wednesday, I'm pretty sure, I thought we might have something going on Wednesday. So we may or may not have a Revelation Red Pill on Wednesday. I think there might be something going, but stay tuned on that. All right. So we will see you guys. What did I just say? Sunday. Yes, Sunday. And we're going to see Shauna and Condi tomorrow. All right. I'm going to sign. This is going to work. I got the outro set up. This is amazing. 0 drop frames. I can't believe it's almost kicking 4 hours on this stream and nothing has dropped and everything is amazing and God is good. And good night. God bless and out for now.